Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We got the divisional round divisional round preview. Let's get it, man. We're going to go live. We'll see how long we go for. Got to clear my throat a little bit. I'm looking forward to this round. Of course, we saw some late injuries come in for the Rams, so I'm sure we have to talk about that. We're going to get to the Patreon questions. What up, Jack, in the live chat? What up to everyone in the live chat? How you guys doing? Just to address it, to come up with, I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about it. Yeah, the Whitworth injury scares the hell out of me. It was really, really unfortunate. I don't know why the Rams pushed him back out there once he twinged that knee last week. That Whitworth injury, I don't think it's a game changer because the backup left tackle, Note Bloom, is pretty good. But yeah, that kind of like shaked my crevices today. That's why I don't post the bets until Friday night. I'm not reversing on the Rams or anything like that. I haven't put the bet in yet. But yeah, that was one I didn't like to see. You never like to see that, especially because we know this Bucs defensive line is pretty nasty. It really is. Let's get this money. I'm going to get to the Patreon question. I just want to say shout out Chiefs for the win. Someone's picking Chiefs. Yeah, that Chiefs-Bills game is going to be – I think it's the best divisional round game I've seen in 5 years. Just in terms of the hype and how evenly matched they are. What's up, Dirty Sanchez? What's up, Johnny? How you doing, man? What's up, Jack? What's up, Mike? What's up, Tico? Let's get it, Tico. Let's get it, man. What's up, CB? How's everyone doing, man? Good night or whatever. Good afternoon where you're at. Let's get to the Patreon questions. This is from Jordan. I'm most confident on Titans -3 and Rams +3. Also, do you like the Packers to cover but slightly hesitant? Yeah, man, the more I think about it, the more I'm liking the Packers. Chiefs-Bills game is a toss-up. Recommend staying away from it, or are you riding with the Bills? I haven't made my decision yet. I have to look at the injury reports. The Friday injury reports just dropped, but I just want to watch the Chiefs-Bills game for fun. I think that's too close to call. That's just my opinion. I think that's going to be a great game, unless you have a read on it. I don't. I think that comes down to who has the ball last possession. Okay, this is a super chat from Zamora. What would you guess the final score will be in KC Bills? I have 58. Doesn't matter who wins as long as I'm guessing the points total. For me, man, I would guess the final score in that game is going to be like 33-30, 30-27. I would guess along those lines. So it's going to be pretty close to to that 58. But if you got 57, you're golden. Normally games I don't want to go full math tier here, but normally games, they don't finish like with an 8, for instance, because my dad, he used to play a lot of like the Super Bowl pools where you would get the 2 numbers. 8's not that great a number, but either way, that's kind of a crapshoot either way. I mean, I don't think you were putting too much money on that. But yeah, I'm confident in the Titans. The -3.5 is something that we're going to talk about later. It's something I don't like, but it might be something we have to deal with unless we buy points. This is from Cole C. What's up, Cole? Do you think the Bills Chiefs will be under? I wouldn't bet it on an under. I think it pushes towards over, my man. I like the Packers and the over versus Niners, especially if they're without Bosa. Their last 3 games on the road, they have got them. Yeah, man, I think Green Bay is going to throw it all over the park. Really, the thing that needs to push it over is, do you think the 49ers are going to make it a competitive game? Like, there is a chance that the 49ers don't get anything going on offense. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there is a huge chance. And then you got the Jimmy G factor. But I think Rodgers is pushing over 300 yards because we've been talking about this 49ers secondary all year. Like, yes, it is fun making fun of Jimmy G. Yes, Jimmy G is a huge liability, but I think the biggest liability on the team is the secondary. And if Bosa's not full bore, if Bosa's not playing like his superstar potential, who's really going to get to Rodgers and who's going to get in Rodgers and Devontae Adams' way? Now, it would be nice if Rodgers had a second target that was dominant, but Lazard's actually starting to play a little bit better. I'm not trying to sell anyone on Lazard, but he is actually playing a little bit better. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for the question. This is from Denny Valentino. What is your sexiest, most attractive halftime bet? Denny, I would have to say the Titans -2 or -2.5, depending where you get it at. That would be my sexiest one. Listen, this Bengals game is interesting because we know the Bengals have a potent offense, and I do like some aspects of their defense, but I think the Titans are able to run the ball, and I think the Titans at least go into halftime with a 3-point lead. So I really like that Titans -2.5. That was actually one of the main reasons why I did that extra video this week, just because I wanted to talk about that first half score. Yeah, and I get why people like the Bengals. Yeah, and like also the whole Titans game, it really isn't about Derrick Henry. It's more about Roger Saffold and Taylor Lewan, like, because Devontae Foreman's been balling this year. And then also with Tannehill, you have to get really aggressive with him. And I don't think the Bengals have the secondary to do it. Like, and that's where I'm at. Like, you can talk about the Titans secondary. The Titans secondary has bad stats, and they got torn up by Amendola in week 18, which getting torn up by Amendola is always something that's going to worry you. But my issue, man, is Bengals aren't going to be able to run the ball. Just look at the way this Titans defensive line stops the run. And if you make the Bengals one-dimensional, that really starts exposing their offensive line. One of the best things last week for the Bengals was their ability to run the rock and create run-pass balance. Like, they didn't pound the Raiders, but they were getting 4 or 5 yards most of the times when they ran it, and Joe Mixon is going to go. He went off. But for me, man, you're not going to – the Tennessee's going to get penetration, and they're going to shut it down. So then it just comes down to what Burrow's going to do. When the Bengals do have some good matchups, but if you take away Jamar Chase – if you just let Tyler Boyd, the tight end with the crazy name, beat you, Higgins, if you let them go at you, I think the Titans would take that risk. And I think the Titans defense is ready for this. I think the Titans play better defense. I think that's the main reason. I really like this Titans defense. And they play complementary football. I think we see turnovers out of the Bengals because, like I said, I think they're going to hit Burrow. And we got to go back to last week a little bit. Did the Raiders look all that good to you? The Raiders really didn't look like a playoff team last week, and then the Bengals still couldn't really put them away. I mean, the Raiders were one play away from tying that game, and also the Bengals did get a lot of good fortune. Look at their red zone offense, man. When things got tight, they weren't able to do much, and the Titans had a great red zone defense, and then for the Bengals to score a touchdown in the red zone, they needed that officiating mistake where everyone stopped. And then it just went on because NFL doesn't know what they're doing because it's amateur hour. So, yeah, that's why I like the Titans in the first half. Paulie, forget about it. Is this Bills secondary for real? I wouldn't say for real, but they're pretty decent. I really like their safeties because against Mahomes, you have to camouflage a lot of coverage and you got to try to confuse him. Can they handle Mahomes and a fired-up Chiefs offense? Yeah, but Paulie, I'm also thinking – who has more motivation level in this game? I don't know. For me, I feel like the Bills have more motivation level. It just depends how you look at it, what aspect you want to look at it for. And thank you for subscribing, Paulie. I really appreciate it, bro. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and no reason to say thank you, my man. I appreciate it. You guys helped me too. Eldad Ronan. Hey, Lawson, what teams do you think would make the biggest revenue for a Super Bowl matchup? I would say, let me think. The biggest revenue, Tom Brady. So I would go Bucs, and because Tom Brady's just like a national figure, a borderline national hero in a country where we don't have a lot of national heroes because everyone hates everyone else. So I would, and plus Tom Brady gets a lot of haters too, so he'll get the haters to watch. But overall, he's a natural hero. So I would go Brady and the Bucs versus who in the AFC? Probably Bills. Probably Bills or Chiefs. I would say that would generate the most revenue. And I do think Tennessee money line is safer. I really do. But that's one thing I'm going to have to do. Jonathan Yim. Hi, John. Just wondering, which of the 4 games would you think would be a field goal game? I'm thinking at least 2 would be field goal games. Well, the one game I believe is the Bills game and Chiefs. I think that's a field goal game, Jonathan. The Bengals Titans, it might be in that territory. Like, we could see a lot of people holding Titans -3.5 cards, and they get burned by a late field goal. Things along those lines. I would go with the Bills Chiefs game, and then I would also look towards that Rams Tampa Bay game. So I think we're on the same line of thinking. Next question from Terry. What's up, Terry? Hey, John, is there any pattern as to when you post soccer picks? There really isn't any pattern. It's because the Brazilian league, normally they play like 2 games a week. So once I see the lineups, that's when I'm able to make the bet. So normally I'll post them like Friday night, maybe Monday, Tuesday. You just have to stay tuned for it because, and the soccer is starting up again. The soccer I bet is starting up again. So you'll be seeing those soccer picks coming if you stay after NFL season. I understand if you want to duck out of Patreon, completely understand that. But yeah, the soccer picks, man, I'll be throwing them with in Patreon. And also, don't remember if you only played Brazil leagues or other. Thanks for the info. Terry, I played Brazil, Serie A, Serie B. They have state championships in Brazil. It's too much to explain, but I do bet those. Those are something that's really good to exploit because not a lot of people bet it. That's the one problem with the NFL playoffs. Everyone bets it. So you see some tomfoolery going on. You don't get the best spreads. So that's one thing. And also, I'll probably be focusing on either the German league or the English Premier League, depending which one I like watching more. Because once the NFL ends, I have more time to watch film. This is another question from Terry. John, I know you said over in the green game, but I was hearing today that Jimmy G hasn't played in a very cold climate since college. Yeah, he played at New Hampshire, I think. As a nurse, I'm thinking the cold will further aggravate the bad shoulder. I know you put a lot of consideration into your pick, so I'm reluctant to think the weather wasn't considering. Terry, I think they're going to just hit the shoulder with a pain-killing injection, and then when he goes into halftime, they're going to hit it with another pain-killing injection. I don't think that's going to be the reason why Jimmy G fails. And also, sometimes injuries in this league are a lot of fluff. Like, we didn't hear much about the Whitworth injury all week, and now we see Whitworth's out on the Friday injury report, and Taylor Rapp's out on the Friday injury report with no chance to play. So I think Jimmy, I don't think cold weather is going to be the reason why Jimmy G sucks or not. He tried to get the game to Dallas last week. What was it, 23-10? He throws that pick. Then it's 17-23. Luckily for the 49ers, he didn't crumble, but he looked like he wanted to crumble, and that was perfect weather. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude, I love soccer. I watch a ton of it. I have to focus on it. I know a lot of you guys like betting NBA. A lot of you guys like betting hockey, things along those lines. I'm not good at betting those. And personally, I couldn't watch NBA every night because there's no competition. It's almost like what's at stake for them. Nothing. You're just guessing who's showing up better. I mean, people say that about the NFL sometimes, but I don't really buy it. Man. Yeah, so I get what you're saying, Terry. I just think either way, it's a tough atmosphere for Jimmy G. Ryan says, I'd like to come on the show, mate. Send me an email. Send me an email, and then you can get on. Justin Barker says, let's get this money. Let's get it, Justin. I appreciate all the support, bro. Craig Story, would you take the Titans -3.5? Still thinking about it, Craig. I'll be putting it on Patreon tonight. The -3.5, it does make me a little bit nervous. I never like betting -3.5s. So if I do put it, I might just buy a half a point. We'll see. I would always buy a half a point on 3.5. I think we're going to get into this question. This is from Johnny Gonzalez. What's up, Johnny? Yo, what's up, Lawson? Good call on the Niners last week. My Cowboys did not deserve the win with that performance. I liked Cincy at +3.5 only because of the half-point hook. If the line were 3, I'd probably take the Titans. I should see this game being super close, and that 0.5 makes a huge difference, especially in the divisional rounds where the matchups are a bit tighter than people think. I guess my question is, do you ever buy points? Yeah, that's the only situation when I buy points. That's the only situation when I buy points. I hate the -3.5. I absolutely hate it. If you're on the +3.5 side, especially in the regular season, you're Gucci. You're in a good position. I just don't like the -3.5 ever. And I feel like that's setting us up to get just like killed in the last minute, for lack of a better phrase. So no, I don't like. I always buy points when it's 3.5. Luckily, we don't get a whole lot of those. I really thought, man, that the Bengals bettors and the Burrow and Jamar Chase energy would push that down to -3. Actually, let's take a look at what it's at right now. Let me just load my Vegas Insider. Yeah, we're still at -3.5 on every book. That's what's so crazy about it, bro. Like all the other games, there's variations in the books. Like some books, the Rams are +2.5. Some books, the Rams are +3. Some books, the Niners are +5.5. Some books, the +6, +6.5. There's no variation with this Bengals Titans game. They're just leaving it at -3.5 all across the books. All across the books. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Jack Benable, what other soccer leagues you bet again? Do you still think the Packers are going to win it all? Bills have a strong case and they're peaking at the right time. I'm still going Packers, man. Still going Packers, Jack. I understand what you guys are saying about the Bills because a lot of this league is about when you peak. And the Bills and Chiefs, they're peaking at the right time. Even though the Chiefs lost to the Bengals, we did see what we loved from them, the explosion and energy and the creativity on offense. As for the Bills, yeah, Josh Allen started playing his good football at the right time, but I'm still going Packers. Now, I'm nervous about the Packers, not because the Niners listen, the Niners' Cinderella dance was last week. That's why I let off the upsets to bet with the Niners last week. We all kind of felt like that was coming. But, you know, I understand people are stirring the pot with the Niners against the Packers. But even if the Packers start slow, I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to take this over. And this Packers defense is getting healthy at the right time. I've never been a big Packers lover. I've never loved their defense, even though they've had good stats in previous years. But I think the difference with the Packers defense is a player like Rashawn Gary. I don't think you can push him around. I don't think you can run against the Packers for 200 yards like teams used to do in the playoffs. That's why I think the Packers are firm and ready. And I don't think there's a quarterback in this league playing better football than Aaron Rodgers. And playoff football, I don't want to be lazy here, but at a certain point, it comes down to who's going to play better quarterback. Now, that Titans-Bengals game, you know, I'm going contrary to that because obviously we know Joe Burrow's better than Tannehill, but Tannehill's going to have the run game. So that's just one example. Here we go. Let's get to another question. This is Parrish. Buccaneers are running out of time against the Rams. Yeah, but we saw that curveball today with Whitworth out, so got to reassess that, unfortunately. I was really disappointed when I saw Whitworth was out just before the show started. Caleb Lawson. Oh, Caleb asked, Lawson, first of all, thank you. No, thank you, Caleb. We made good money this year, but it's not over yet. Big week. I want to go big on Green Bay money line and then Rams or money line. I really like the Rams for the upset, leaving the other games alone. What do you think? Yeah, we're thinking the same way. We're thinking along the same lines. There is one other game I want to dabble in, but you'll see on Patreon later tonight. Jonathan Chavez, Rams, Chiefs, or Bills, Niners are the two Super Bowls I foresee. I don't know, man. I don't know I don't know how I don't know. Just tell me how the Niners get past the Packers, other than just saying like, oh, the Packers are going to come out rusty or Matt LaFleur sucks. Well, and Jimmy G, he's going to get hit this game against the Packers. So. And like I said, he tried to give that game away to the boys. Kyle Jones. This is Kyle Jones. What's up? Hey, Lawson, how pumped are you for this weekend? I'm really pumped. You could make an argument divisional round is the best week of the NFL. Some people like the championship. Some people like the wild card. Some people like week one. But for me, divisional round is normally the best week of the playoffs or the year for me. Let's get this money. My question is, if you had to pick one player from each game to score a touchdown, who would it be? Cooper Kupp or Cam Akers? I would go Mike Evans or Gronk. Actually, give me Gronk. Although that's tough, man. That's tough. Because I think Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Mike Evans. So I would just default to Gronk. If Fournette plays, Cooper Kupp, Fournette if he plays, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, and who's the other game I'm missing? What's the other game I'm missing? I'd go Stephon Diggs, then I'd go Travis Kelce. That's what I would go, just off the top of my head. Hey, Lawson, what do you think about some 1-13 bets this weekend? The spreads are all pretty tight, signifying these could be close games. Tennessee plus 140, Green Bay plus 145, Buffalo plus 175, or Chiefs plus 165 if you lean that way. Rams are plus 190, and Bucs are plus 150. I don't like that because historically in the playoffs, there's a lot of blowouts. So when he's saying 1-13, the team has to win between 1 and 13 points. Yes, that sounds good. Yes, the spreads are close. But who saw the Bills blowing out the Patriots last week? Now, there were people on here saying they felt like the Bills would win. The Bills would scrap that out. The Bills would win by 7 or 10 points. But who thought the Bills were going to blow them out? And unfortunately, there's always one team that doesn't show up in these high-octane moments. Like, you could even bet that Tampa against Philly. There's enough suspicion to say, oh, shit, Philly could keep this close. Look at all these Buccaneers injuries. But it didn't go that way. That's why I don't like 1-13. I never liked it. I understand why some people do it. And you still have to pick the winner as well. So it's really not that easy. Aaron Rodgers, Alonzo. Aaron Rodgers. Burrow's gonna have a lot of pressure. He's gonna have the highest degree of difficulty this wild card weekend. But Burrow can deal with it. But go Rodgers, because this 49er secondary is slow. Dove 10-5-6-5 is Bills plus 8 and 49ers plus 12 the best teaser this year. I really like it. Your opinion? No, I don't. Because I think that I like Bills plus 8. Teasing the Chiefs Bills game any way you want to go is fine, but there's a possibility. I think the blowout of this week, if I had to bet on what game's going to be a blowout, I would bet on the Packers steamrolling the Niners, because this Niners secondary and Bosa. Have we gotten official news on Bosa yet? Has that broken yet? Because I just saw the Rams broke their final injury report. For me, man, when we're looking at that Packers 49ers game, 49ers are going to have some issues in the secondary, and Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers is the best combo in this league. They just are. And there has to be something rolled up. There has to be something to surprise them. And I don't know if the 49ers defense can do it. I really don't know, man. And then you got Jimmy G on the other side. The 49ers aren't running it really well. Jimmy G's going to throw 2 interceptions. Even when they do run it well, he finds a way to put 2 turnovers on the board. And that's just unfortunate. Yeah, how about them Cowboys? Yeah, Bosa's cleared. Bosa's cleared, so he's in the game. But I think Rodgers has been getting rid of the ball so fast. And I also think the Packers, they're going to get a lot of 7-man soft fronts. And I think A.J. Dillon's an X factor. Like, we know Aaron Jones is back, but I really feel like A.J. Dillon's the X factor. And I did forget to give the anytime touchdown. I'm going Devontae Adams, and I'm going to go on the 49ers. Ayuk. There. Josie, I'm a little bit worried about Whitworth being out, but the backup is actually pretty decent. Noteboom, he started 2 games this year. I watched one of those games, and he actually looked pretty good. So I'm not going to panic about it, but that Whitworth news was a big blow today. Just was a huge blow. I got to fill up my vape. 1 second.
Now, sir,
I bought a Coke Zero just for this, because last time we went 3 fucking hours, man. So let's get to it. Thank you for your patience. Who you trust more with the ball, Brady or Stafford? Come on, yeah, but bro, this isn't fucking like Madden. It's not fucking Madden. At a certain point, there's other people playing the game, and the Rams really confused. Look at the Bucs games that they lost this year. I'm going to look at a few specifically. Saints game. Look at the game they lost to the Rams. Look at the game they lost to the Washington No-Names. What do those teams have in common? They all got physical defensive lines, and they change up their coverages in the back very well. Send a guy in blitz, zone blitz, change to cover 3, change to cover 4, play a few robber looks and nickel. That's what you have to do against Brady. You can't do what the Eagles did and just sit back and 2 deep man-to-man all game or cover 2. It was either one of the 2 with the Eagles. You can't do that. You have to send different looks. You have to attack them in a wide variety of angles. And that's one thing the Rams defense does. Go look at the all-22. They play a lot of games in the back. And the Tampa Bay secondary is weak. And whose dogs do you trust more? Stafford's dogs or Brady's dogs? For me, and I'm the biggest Mike Evans fan there ever fucking was. Dude, Antonio Brown was the best receiver on that team. He just was. And the Chris Godwin loss, they could have just forgot about if Antonio Brown was there. Because you still got 3 damn good tight ends. You still got a few running backs who can catch the ball out of the backfield. But without Antonio Brown, it makes that Chris Godwin loss, it's just gigantic. And like I said, like Cooper Kupp, Higbee, Odell Beckham, that's legit. And I think Higbee's the most underrated tight end in this league. I don't want to put a ranking on him because he never gets fed the ball nearly enough for me. But look at how good Taylor Higbee is. And you got Kupp, and just his season was absolutely spectacular. And the main question when you play the Rams, whether we like it or not, is how the hell are you going to cover Cooper Kupp? And we saw what Zona did last week. It was to double cover him, and then you got Von Jefferson and Odell Beckham running across the field one-on-one, and Stafford chucking it deep. And I understand Stafford can choke at any time. Especially with Whitworth out. I think Whitworth out adds a little bit of mystery to this. Yeah. Okay, Titans lost to the Jets. You can find any team. Fucking the Bills lost to the Jags. Okay? Like, you can go play that game any way you want to play it. And also the Titans had 21 guys on the injury report that week. Did you watch that game? I watched the game, by the way. So, Titans finally got healthy. They finally got healthy. It's been a long wait, but they finally got healthy. And they're getting healthy at the right time. Same with the Packers. Packers are getting healthy at the right time. Now, I'm a little bit worried about the rest. I think some of you guys actually have good reads on the San Fran game. But I'm telling you that once this wheel gets moving, once this avalanche starts going downhill for the Packers, I don't think the 49ers have enough up their sleeve. And we keep thinking this is the 49ers in like 4 or 5 years ago when their pass rush was absolutely dominant, or when they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. It's not the same pass rush even with the Bosa brother healthy. It just isn't. It really isn't. Yeah, and I don't know if that Chiefs-Bills game is a game you guys should be betting, because that just comes down to whoever has the ball last, in my opinion, unless the Bills choke. Lawson, are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? No. And I don't do the drugs you think I do. It's just because I have energy. It doesn't mean I do coke. I've always been like this. Especially when I'm talking about something I like. If we're talking about something I don't like paintings or something, then I'm going to be pretty low key, bro. Okay, got some more Patreon questions. Lino Frosto, what is some bomb-ass food in Brazil? The best food in Brazil is the steak. I think the steak is better than the United States of America, and it's certainly cheap. I also like a little thing they do. It's called a pastel. Like they'll put like chicken or meat into this like little bread thing. They put it in the deep fryer with a bunch of cheese. Comes out good. But yeah, the steak here is where it's at. I do miss American food, but I'm doing fine. I lost some weight since I've been here, so that's definitely good. Brendan on Patreon says, how can you confidently bet against the GOAT, Tom Brady 12, Lawson? He's like the Reaper waiting in the night to steal your bankroll. Well, Tom Brady, what's the Bucs record against the spread this year? It's not like Brady went like 12 and 5 against the spread, or like 13 and 4 against the spread this year. And also, no one likes betting against Brady. It's not fun. Like I said in a comment on YouTube today, it's kind of like age, dude. Betting against Tom Brady, it's not something you want to do, but some people are going to take the risk. And, I'm kind of limited in the games I have to bet. It's not like it's like week 12 when we were really heating up, when it was like week 11 through week 16 where we had all these games, we had all the film, and we could just break it down and find advantages and matchups. There's 4 games this week. So, if I sit out a game because I'm scared of Tom Brady, what the hell am I going to bet? And it's not like I'm betting my college fund on against Tom Brady. I don't even know if I'm going to put in the bet yet. Patreon tonight, Friday night, 11 p.m. It'll be up. You'll see what I do. But, yeah, I get it, man. I get it, man. Yeah, I get not wanting to bet against Brady. I get it. It's just, the thing that really added the question mark to that game is Whitworth being out. That just broke like 30 minutes before the podcast. Okay. This is Lino Frosto. Do you recommend teasing both Saturday's games? If so, what are you thinking? I don't recommend teasing the Bengals-Titans game unless you think the Bengals are going to play well. Then I would bring that up to Bengals plus 10.5 and sit pretty comfy if you think the Bengals are going to come out and play well. For me, I'm not teasing that game. But, yeah, the Green Bay game, I would tease down to a pick 'em. I think Green Bay finds a way. Like, you can make an argument to me San Fran's going to cover. Like, you can make that argument, and I probably would accept it. But for me, it's going to be hard for San Fran to win. Yeah. Dude, I'm fine with the Rams. But, new information comes in. Just before I got on air, Whitworth was ruled out of the game. So, although his backup is pretty good. His backup is good, man. But, it's not Whitworth. Whitworth's the top 15 lineman in this league, even though he's like 40-41. Rob Thorne. Hey, John, I really like the under in the Green Bay game. Any playoff game since 1960 has been under when temp is 0 at kickoff. Plus the amount of rushing the clock should burn. Thoughts? I don't know, bro. That's like digging a little bit deep to me. The Bills game had like a negative windshield, and didn't that game go over against the Patriots? Let's see if that went over. I forgot the final score. You might be right about that, though. No, it went over. So, and that game was cold as brick. I don't know. From someone who's lived in upstate New York my whole life, is there much of a difference between 5 degrees and 0 degrees? Would that have, if it was 0 degrees, would the Bills Patriots game have gone under? And listen, the over under is a little bit different for the 49ers Packers game. If you think the 49ers are going to give them a game and possibly win, that thing's going to go over. If you think the Packers are going to cakewalk over them, or you think the Packers are going to win, but it's going to be a sloppy Packers performance, then you go under. It just depends how you think the game's going to go. And unfortunately, the over-under is tied in to who's going to play better. And that's how the matchups work. Mahomes is better than Josh. Yeah, maybe. 3 years ago he was. Zamora 690. Thank you for the page. Thank you for the super chat, my guy. Does it worry you that Josh Allen has never won a playoff game, being the away team? You think Allen will think about this? No, Josh Allen's not thinking about that, Zamora. I don't think he cares where he plays the game. He's won in Kansas City before. Bills beat him this year, right? Not that it matters regular season, because we're going to see shit churn up, okay? So I'm not going to even try to play that game with you. But one thing I would say is Josh Allen's peaking at the right time. If this was like Josh Allen week 8 or week 9, it would be really tough to bet, man. It'd be extremely tough to bet. And this game's still tough to bet. Like, and I see a lot of people in the comment section betting on their own teams. Like, don't let. I don't know how you guys can bet on your own teams in the playoffs. I'm not talking to you, Zamora, specifically, but like, if your team's the Chiefs, if your team's like the Niners, you probably should sit those games out because it never ends well. Unless it's like a true college fun game, that's when you have to break the rule. But dude, there's too much emotion in the playoffs. There's too much fucking fight and blood being shed on the field in the playoffs to just ride with your own team, because either way, subconsciously, you're going to be biased. And the playoffs is really like a tribal thing. Like, even if I've been to NFL playoffs games, and dude, I've been to probably 30 regular season NFL games in my life. I've been to 3 playoff games. I've seen more fights in the stands in the 3 playoff games than the 30 regular season NFL games I've been to. And then you combine that with all the soccer games I go to in Brazil. In 3 NFL playoff games, I've seen more fights in the stands than like 90, 100 games during the regular season. The playoffs is no joke, bro. I don't know, man. Betting your own team is crazy. Even when my Vikings were really good with Favre, I would have never bet them, even though I knew they were going to dominate some games. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's go. I'm going to see if we got any more Patreon questions. Then I'm going to get to the Sergio Rojas Gonzalez. Who wins the AFC Championship? Right now, I'm still going Titans Packers. I think the Titans find a way to get out of there. And one thing we need to look at, I'm not trying to play this game either. I'm being a psychologist or some shit. But if you're the Bills and Chiefs this week, now, is this just me? I'm not a Bills fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan at all. And I'm just asking you guys, and you can just slay me if I'm thinking out of line here. Doesn't this Bills-Chiefs game feel like the AFC Championship? Even though we respect the Titans as much as we do, and you can't count out King Burrow and Jamar Chase, like, doesn't this Bills-Chiefs game feel like the AFC Championship? And could you imagine being the Bills-Chiefs? This game's probably going to go down to the last 5 minutes. Whoever gets the ball last is probably going to win. Could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. I think Bills-Chiefs might be one of the best playoff games in the last 15, 20 years, man. The more I'm looking at it, the more you're seeing Mahomes peak at the right time, the more you see Josh Allen peak at the right time. It just feels like it's going to be one of the best playoff games. Okay, so whoever wins that one, you're probably going to have to go to Nashville, unless the Bengals pull the rug. It just feels like the nut might be blasted a little bit in this Chiefs-Bills game, if you understand what I'm saying. That's where we're at, man. Oh, I get it. Yeah, dude, I've been drinking 2 liters. I drink the 2-liter diet. I've been drinking 2-liter diets on air since I had like 2,000 subscribers. I got fucking no shame. And my girl isn't here today to bring me water and stuff because she's got to like walk her dog. So yeah, I'm here lone wolfing it with the 2-liter. Here we go. Let me. Martin Galvez, what's the money pick? Titans in the first half. J-Sap, does White being out for the Bills game worry you? And also, if you had to say like the money pick of the week, I'm still going Titans first. That's my first gut reaction. I don't like the 3.5, but bring that down a little bit. I always thought that Titans game would work down to Titans -3 as the week went on, as the Burrow hype went on, but it just didn't. It stayed firm. But I like Titans -3. J-Sap, what's up, J-Sap? Does White being out for the Bills game worry you? Yeah, Tre'Davious White's a beast, bro. And Tre'Davious White's a top 5 corner in this league. Outside of Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if there's a corner I would rather have on my team. Like, you could make arguments about certain guys, but I've always been a big Tre'Davious White fan. I think it's going to hurt, but I also think the Bills can disguise stuff in the secondary. And I think if the Chiefs get too one-dimensional, the Chiefs don't run it enough, I feel like the Bills will be able to generate pressure, especially because their linebackers are really nasty at blitzing. I don't like their linebackers against the run by any means, but look at their linebacking blitzes. They can get to you. And then I'm looking at it. I think Bills got – I don't know who's going to block Ed Oliver for the Chiefs. That's my main question. Now, you could counter to me and say, who the hell is going to block Chris Jones on the Bills? But I think Josh Allen at this point is better at buying time. And for me, man, I don't think the Bills are going to, like, challenge the Chiefs. I think they're going to let the Chiefs work the ball, matriculate it down the field, and then they're going to get tight in the red zone. The Chiefs' defense, they don't do that. I think they're going to get right up in the Bills' face, and I think the Bills get more chunk plays. And it's also interesting what's going to happen, man, when we look at both of these quarterbacks. But I think Mahomes, I don't know, man. And we've been riding the Chiefs all year. Remember when everyone was counting them out like week 7, week 6, and then we just started riding them after that? I do feel like something's missing on this version of the Chiefs. I don't know quite what it is. And we'll see. Oh, appreciate it. Freshness AH. What's up, Adam? Buy a 2-liter Coke for this weekend. Oh, bro, I will, man. I'm going to need that, man. Because I know you guys like to drink and stuff. Unfortunately. Yo, dude, Adam, I'm going to send you an invite. Bro. I just saw your email. I'm going to start getting you guys on. Because you got to come on and tell us why the Chiefs are going to win. I sent the link to your email. So we'll see. And if you want to come on, just send it to my email. Yeah, dude, I get it. Don't drink any soft drinks. And I get it. Dude, but for me, here's why I like drinking diet soda. Because, okay, when I get up in the morning, my girl, she'll make me like a cappuccino. I love it. I start feeling good. I do the reading, getting ready for the videos. If I need to watch a little bit of film, yeah, I get fucking amped and I watch that for like 2 hours. But with coffee and shit, dude, I fucking crash, bro. And then if I drink a coffee at like 5, 6 at night, I'm just fucking wired. And sometimes I get a little bit too wired. I'll go out to like the supermarket. I'll start fucking yelling at someone for no reason. Like, so that's why I don't like coffee, because I need like that slow, like morphine drip of caffeine. I don't like doing the fucking espresso lattes. Yo, what's up, Adam? What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, you got the tan in Mexico, man. You're bringing that shit back. They're gonna think your ass went to a tanning booth.
Oh no, man. No. Listen, I'm an alpha male. I don't do that tanning stuff, man. I get on the airplane and I'll go down to the beach, man, where the senoritas are at. Let's not play, man.
Yeah, dude, but you're in Kansas City. You're perfectly tanned. They're going to be like, oh, shit, Adam's going to fucking tanning booth now. Dude, tanning booths are like cancer for men, by the way.
Well, those who know me, they know this guy's always in Mexico, so I don't have to say anything, you know. But listen, folks, I'm in Kansas City. You're talking to someone who lives here. It is cold. It is getting tense. And I'll tell you what, the Chiefs fan out here, they're feeling nervous. It's weird. I usually when it's the playoffs, the last couple years being here, they're usually very confident. For some reason, they're a bit nervous for Sunday, and I think they can feel that momentum Buffalo has coming in here. Now, I got to listen, man. When I'm wrong, and you got a channel, so I don't want to play with your message. I got to apologize. I posted that I liked Dallas last week, and I got burnt. And I don't want to overstep your message, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you do who you like and who you pick. Packers, I'm going to have to agree with you. If there's money to be made, I think the Packers is the team that's going to cover the safest out of all. But we'll see. I think the Packers is the safest. I've already made my bet. I've picked Kansas City and the Packers money line. I got to make up for last weekend's loss. It's Mahomes. The only reason I picked Kansas City, I just could not see them losing 2 in a row to the same team at home. That's the only way I chose that bet. But I have to agree with your analysis, man. This is a game I would stay away from if you're not feeling it. I'm from a different angle. I'm coming at it. I just don't see Reed losing 2 in a row to the same team.
But Adam, aren't you going to be like way too amped up for that game because you're a Chiefs
fan? Check this out. I'm gonna have to go buy a Vape, man.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, if I ever quit gambling, like, you know how like the football players hang up the cleats, you gotta hang up the vape or the cigarettes. You're gonna start fucking chain smoking that.
I'm gonna be watching it at a hookah lounge, so I'm like smoking it and watching it, smoking and watching it. You know. But all right, brother, let's make this money. Good luck to all those who's bet. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. This is what we live for, man, that high, that we're fans of the game. We're going to lose some, or we're going to win some. May the winner win, man. Enjoy your weekend, man.
Bro, playoffs are like they're very difficult to bet because the good thing about the regular season, we can find 3, 4, 5 mistakes. The bookies aren't going to miss this week. That's
no. And I'll tell you what, if the Packers win, I've won half of my money because I already had them parlayed with the Rams Monday night, and I should have listened to you, man. I should have went big with that game. It just was written all over the wall that Arizona was going to lose. So we missed out.
Watched those games, and like the thing is, on Patreon, I said go big on the Rams. I can't like type in 10K because I got some like just like psychopaths on the internet, man. Like they'll fucking start pawning their mom's wedding ring and all that shit.
Oh,
like yeah, man. And last weekend I got fucking pissed about that Pats Bills game, man. It's just
I lost with that game too. But there's always. Listen, you know me, I'm a Patriots fan, man. I had to do the walk of shame, get out of here, like no one see me with my Patriot jacket. Like, look, I got Chicago Bulls today, man. You know, so I'm like, anyhow.
Looking fresh, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. We'll stay in touch, man.
Yo, bro, hit me up on Instagram anytime. Good luck this weekend.
Take care, brother.
And remember, before you go, remember the last time you came on here and called your shot, the over in the Bengals Chiefs game. You had it by first half. This week,
I had it. I have. If I had to throw that feeling at one of these 4 games, it's the Packers.
For the got you. Yeah, that's that. And I can't go second guess myself about the Packers. So
yeah, I'm actually thinking. I was thinking to drive 3 hours to Iowa to put more money on that game, but I was like, you know what? Sometimes you got to cool off, man. You can't be chasing that win. So I'm going to step back.
Yeah. All right, dude. So, I'll see you. Be good, Adam.
Will do, brother. Have a good one now.
All right, have a good one. Yeah, dude. Adam's a fucking boss, bro. Here we go. Yeah, it's like I get what he's saying. Like, and it's kind of interesting because I felt like that same momentum when the Pats were playing the Colts. Like, there's no way the Colts could lose the game. So like, it's interesting. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. They use aspartame. Like, I just accepted this. But also, I'm not going to be like that old person who's 60 or 70, like dyeing their hair and like buying like 20-year-olds clothes either. So when I'm old, I'm old. Like I told you guys before, I'm not gunning for 95. I'm gunning for like 60, 65 and enjoying my life while we're here. That's where I'm at. I'm gunning for 65, man. Lauren, are you going to come on? Are you going to come on? Are you going to come on? Yeah, like I get what Neil's saying too. I get what Neil's saying, but here we go. I got to read this. Dreezy88. What's up, my beautiful babies? Let's all get this money. Thanks, Lawson, for your great insight and energy. I'm on Patreon paying more than $5. I did notice that. Thank you for your generous donation. Good luck, everyone. Go Bills. I'm so looking for that Bills-Chiefs game. Like, I don't even want to bet that game because I'm going to just be, like, straight pumped for that game either way. Oh, appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, dude, I've had a lot of you guys watching 2-3 years. Like, I think that's kind of like the biggest compliment you can give me. The fact that you guys stay watching like 2-3 years, man, like it honestly makes me feel grateful. And you guys actually know football. All right, Lauren, just send me an email. Yeah, send me an email if you want to come on. I left it on my Instagram stories. So let me see if anyone left any more questions on Patreon. I think I did miss some. Let me get to it. Okay. This is from Will M. Pike. Yo, John, my big question, how big a deal is Fournette for the Bucs this game? I think Fournette's fundamental because remember the first matchup? Okay, Brady did throw for like 480, 450. Yeah, but remember that Bucs got away from the run so fast, and that let the Rams do what they needed to do, rush the passer. If the Rams know it's going to be pass, I think Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, Aaron Donald eat. And we have to remember in that first matchup, the Rams didn't have Von Miller. So it's just one thing against the Rams. You just have to run it against them. Even though the Rams are pretty decent against the run, Ernest Jones is out as well. A really good rookie linebacker on the Rams. I got really messed up about that one. But yeah, man. 33-31 Bills. Dude, Villegas, that might be the right score, bro. That might be the right score. Like, I've been thinking like 30-27, 34-21, but that might be the right score. Honestly. Yo, appreciate it, Mike. Yo, what's up, Mike? How you doing, Mike? You still in Indy, Mike? Appreciate it. Okay, let me see if I missed any more Patreon questions. Serge, okay, I think I got them all. John Kane winning. John Kane's posting this on Patreon. Rams plus 3.5. Tennessee minus 2.5. Green Bay minus 2.5. Bills plus 3.5. Let's get this money. John Kane. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Schultz. Appreciate it, my guy. Yeah, Jonathan, this is actually a really good point, my guy. And I was thinking about this today, and when I was watching the games Tampa Bay lost this year, if you have a quick, versatile defensive line, if they're quick and they're shooting gaps, they're doing twists, they're doing different stuff. For me, that's what gives Tampa Bay's offensive line problems. Tampa Bay's offensive line is a bunch of big bruisers. That's why I think Fournette's so important. If Fournette can go with that hamstrings decent, Fournette can really help Brady stay in rhythm and can really help that big offensive line. And then you're 100% right with your comment. Brady's kryptonite is interior pressure. If he's getting DN pressure, his feet are so good at this point, he avoids that and he steps up. He's not fast, he's not quick, he's not athletic, but it doesn't make a damn bit of difference because his feet move like I don't know, like a fucking bird, man. Like a fucking chicken. He just knows the right places to step in the pocket, and he steps quick, and then he delivers it. But that interior pressure, that's when Brady melts down. We've seen him melt down before with interior pressure. And Tristan Wirf's big, but then we saw Whitworth out today. I mean, so that game is just, that game's going to be awesome, man. Yeah. Okay. Robel Zaza, do you like the Bengals +7 in the first quarter? If you had to put my life on the line, I would say yeah. But my question is, Zaza, does that make economic sense for you? I think the Titans have like a 3-point lead going into the second half, for whatever that's worth. Yeah. Okay. Neil Williams, I'm going 1K on this one. If Bucs go back, I'm taking whatever AFC team. Just be careful, Neil. Don't do anything crazy. Nick M, what do you think of the stock market, brother? I do the Brazilian stock market. For me, it's more consistent, and there's less big players in it. So I get a little bit of consistent money from that. The United States stock market is good, but the problem is elites, they have connections that you don't have. So they can pull the plug on anything. Like, remember GameStop? They can just pull the plug on that. And they also communicate with each other and say when to take a stock, when to pump it up. And then you're just kind of guessing. If I was doing the United States stock market, I would just do low risk mutual funds. I would get in oil. I would get in medical supplies. I would get in that type of stuff. I would not dabble in high risk things because, like I said, you're not in control of it. And also, I think this year we're going to see the stock market kind of dip in the United States. I know it's been dipping recently, haven't been following it that much, but they're going to end up having to pay people more money, which is going to hurt corporate profit. So that's the situation. I wouldn't go into it. And then cryptocurrency is even getting dangerous. Luckily, I got my big nut out of Chainlink. Got that 4 years ago, and I'm staying out of it now because I got that big nut, and I don't think I'm going to get another nut because when Spike Lee, when Matt Damon is talking about crypto, that's probably when you need to get the fuck out, bro. When when the guy at the barber shop is like talking about Dogecoin and Bitcoin, that's probably when you need to get out of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ahead of the curve. You can't like jump on the bandwagon because you're going to get burned. That's where I'm at. What's up, Ty? How you doing, Ty? I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Everything's going good. Everything's going good. I love getting on and talking to you guys. I'm going to read this comment. Solo DF, there's no way that the Niners beat the Packers in Lambeau with a hurt Jimmy G, right? Yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, it is the playoffs. The Packers are going to have a little bit of ring rust. But I still don't know if it makes a difference, bro, because Aaron again, Rodgers is on a fucking mission. Ever since he took that heel turn this year, I just felt something different with the Packers. And then I keep mentioning Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary and Jair Alexander are two of the biggest defensive dogs in this league, and no one really talks about them. I think they make a big difference. I believe that game's Saturday night, correct? Yeah, so... yeah, and like U.S. is issuing a digital currency. They're talking about it. And either way, crypto is controlled by the top 1% now. Like if you were in 3-4 years ago, you got in before the big wigs got in, and they just control stuff and collude stuff. So you got to get in something before. There'll be another thing to get into. Yeah, it's Mike. It's sad to say, but you got to know when to jump off, and yeah, it's time. Zaza, Devontae Adams or Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown scorer. I would say Devontae Adams, but either bet is good. What are the odds on that? Are they good? Because we know Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get Devontae Adams one. And if D. Henry is healthy, he's going to get himself one. Let's see what. Yeah, and one thing we got to get Michael Mann on because Michael Mann, I sent him on a mission to research the referees and the Rams Buccaneers game. Yeah, dude, if I would go Devontae Adams though. Devontae Adams the best one to hit out of those. I actually think Devontae Adams might be the best one. And if I missed your question, just write it again. Just write it again. And if you want to come on, send me an email. I think Rob wanted to come on. I didn't see an email from him. So just send me an email if you want to come on. I get, for some reason, Google takes a lot of shit as spam when it really shouldn't be taking it. But you guys know how that goes. So I always check my spam folder. No, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. We're still going. No, you didn't miss anything, bro. You're good. You're good. And then I'm going to just get to the questions. Daryl Turner. Hey, JL, real sound and common sense financial advice, my guy. Yes. Dude, I wish the crypto train kept coming. My chain link did good for me, but I know I'm not trying to chase that rabbit. I think it's past, and, you know, and the way this system is, I'm not a fan of the system, and the way this financial system is, it just benefits the very people at the very top. So we're not in that class. So it's not, we just got to be ahead of the curve. Dreezy88, my man's out here talking about Brazilian stocks and crypto. I love it. This is a great community. No such thing as enough nuts. Nice nut on link, bro, and great insight on the market. I appreciate it. And like we got really smart people on here, and we actually got rich people who listen to this YouTube channel. Like they're not going to come on and say stuff, but for instance, there's like a guy. There's two people. I know there's 4 whales who go on Patreon and they bet like 20K, 40K a game. I know we have some of those type of people. So, and that's why I always love coming on here and talking with you guys, because you guys actually aren't stupid. You guys can actually write complete sentences, and, you know, you don't just make arguments without thinking about it. And that's why I read the comment section. I can't respond to every comment because the channel got a little bit too big, but dude, the comments on here are awesome. Uncle Jay Lawson, J Law, congrats on the marriage. Let's get this money. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It's going good so far. It's going good. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, right? The way they're talking, you'll think Mahomes has no rings. Yeah, man. But that Super Bowl last year against the Bucs was kind of suspect, man. I'm not saying like conspiracy or anything, but I was just surprised that Mahomes didn't put up more of a fight. Green Bay over. What are we talking about? I think the over for them is 26.5, if I remember correctly. Are you talking individual? H2, you ever think about making a Discord community outside of the Patreon for a community on investing as well as sports? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I tried to create one before, but it didn't go off. But yeah, dude, I'm going to create one because it's actually good, man. And And I think it'll help because some of you guys have more time for investing than me. And I got to start investing a little bit more because I'm not investing a whole lot. And we got to prepare for our futures because most of us are between what? 22 and 40. Big Daddy government ain't sending us social security checks when we get old. I don't want to crush anyone's dreams or anything like that. We're going to get hard dick and bubble gum. So they're not going to give us anything when we're older. So unfortunately, we need to prepare accordingly and buy property. One thing I want to do is I want to get like a group of 8 to 10 people and we buy property in Brazil and then we turn into millionaires. I got the citizenship, not the full citizenship, but I got pretty much like the card before the citizenship. So I can do business here now. And it's a lot easier to enter in the United States, bro. If you want to start a real estate business, like $300K, you need perfect fucking credit with the bank. Hell, you might need like your wife making $100K for them to give you the credit. You know how it is, man. And here we can just buy property. Easy, fast, good money, little money for the property. Flip it quick, bam. No drama. No drama, man. But yeah, that's one of the plans for this upcoming year. Yeah, it's running out for us, and we have to accept it and move on with our lives. Unfortunately, looks like your head is upside down. What do you mean? Looks like your head is upside down. What does that even mean? Maybe you're watching the phone wrong, bro. Brian Webb. Hey, Lawson, I love the Bengals this week. I'm ready to hammer it. Can you tell us why you love it? Because I don't think that's any sort of slam dunk. And plus, one reason why the Bengals were able to beat the Raiders last week was because they were able to run it. I'm going to get Tony on. Tony, I sent the link. Here we go. Joe Mixon, touchdown plus 104. Yeah, because Manny, I like what you're thinking there. It wouldn't be my favorite anytime player prop, but let's think about it. Let's actually go deep on that Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. Okay, look at how the Bengals struggled in the red zone last week. Now, there's got to be a change of strategy. They got to do something different, and something different is running the ball. And the Titans coverage, you can eat them 20-20, but the Titans coverage really locks down in the red zone. I think the stats prove it, but fuck the stats, bro. I just know when I watch the film, the Titans coverage is ferocious in the red zone, and they give you a lot of different looks. So the Bengals should be trying to pound it with Joe Mixon in the red zone. That's why I like that idea. Plus, Joe Mixon can catch the ball better than most running backs in this league. He really can catch the ball better than people think. Zamora, 60-90, 200 on Rams money line. What you think? Got Rams plus 1,200 in the Super Bowl. Zamora, if you got Rams to win the Super Bowl, bro, you kind of have to put that bet on the Rams money line. Now, I don't know if 200's a lot for you. My bets are a little bit higher. If I'm going a big bet, it's going to be like 1K, 2K, but that's just where I'm at right now due to the bankroll I'm building up after 4 years. But 200 on the Rams money line is fine. Although I always like to take the spread for security if that's a big bet for you. If that's like fucking you going out to fucking a McDonald's, or if that's like a date night to you, then fine. Like, go Rams money line, get a little bit greedy. But I don't like going greedy when I'm going big, because when you get greedy, you get lazy. I know greed is a big part of everything, and we all like to get as much money as possible. We all want to bust nuts 24/7, but yeah, I try not to get greedy, man. I try to share the wealth. Also though, there's a lot of things that can happen, and we got to talk about Tom Brady and officiating and those type of things. But I actually think Rams win the game, even with Whitworth out. So that's where I'm at. Don Chain 13, that weak-ass O-line for the Bengals is going to hurt him this week. Here's why I think it's going to hurt him, Don. Here's why I agree with you a lot. Because the key part of that game plan for the Bengals against the Raiders was running the football, and then sprinkling in short passes. And that's what you need to do against the Raiders because they're not going to stack the box. And we saw the Bengals do that. But against the Titans, you can't run the ball. Like, go watch film from the last 6, 7, 8 weeks. They're a very hard team to run the rock against. They're always getting penetration, and they tackle very, very well. And then I think in this game, eventually the Bengals are going to get one-dimensional where they throw it 13 out of 15 times, throw it 7 straight times, and that's where Burrow will get hit hard. We even saw against the Chargers, when they got down, they started throwing it every play, and it wasn't a good recipe. It just wasn't. Okay. Oscar Delgado, I see Henry over 80 yards. For the player prop, that's risky, though, because we don't know how many touches the King's going to get. Plus, Devontae Foreman's been playing really, really good. What's the over-under on the Bengals, Melvin? Okay. This is actually interesting. Elker, Bills will pound KC to the ground with their dual threat run game with Allen and Singletary. I don't know if I would use the word pound, but when we're looking at both of these teams, and then you add Josh Allen into the run game mix, I think the Bills run the rock better. And I think that's got to count for something. And, you know, Pat Mahomes kind of stopped running 3 years ago. And then he even slowed down more this year. And I think Josh Allen can also buy more time than Pat Mahomes, and he's a better athlete than Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is probably the more well-seasoned quarterback. No one's going to argue that. But Josh Allen is more of an athletic dog. Like, Josh Allen reminds me of, like, Cam Newton, but with more accuracy. And I've been begging the Bills to use Josh Allen more in the run game. But, yeah, man, I have to agree with the take if we bring it down a notch and say Bills are going to run the rock better than the Chiefs. We could see some magic, though, from Mahomes, so I'm never going to count that dude out. NFL to go. Nice to see you, big dog. What's up, NFL to go? Cold games in Lambeau usually go under. Yeah, I get it. Are you concerned with the cold at all? I think both teams want to pound the rock also. That is interesting because one thing I really like about the Packers this year is they've had more run-pass balance, and I really like A.J. Dillon. I know a lot of you guys, I know the media loves Aaron Jones, but I think A.J. Dillon's the best running back on that team, and he's just different, man. I don't think we've seen a running back in this league. He's kind of reminds me of Brandon Jacobs with the Giants. Remember when they had him? He's just big. He's hard to take down. But also, I don't know how much the cold's going to be a factor. It wasn't a factor for the Bills. As long as you don't get wind, I don't think the cold is as big psychological factor as a big physical factor as you think. I agree with what Stefan Diggs said last week, that when you're talking about cold, 90% of it's mental. Now, I'm sure you would rather go out in Florida and sling the ball 40 times in 80-degree heat, but I actually think an 83-degree day with a 90% humidity rate in Miami changes the game more than a cold day at Lambeau Field. Maybe I'm being contrarian, but people don't get gassed easy in cold weather. People get gassed easy in hot, humid weather. So, but we'll see. We'll see how nasty it is. Oh, money. I did that for you. Okay. Ariel West Coast 10. Let's read this comment. It looks like it's going to be good. J-Law, what's up, bro? Love the channel and your expert insight. Thank you, my man. I love my 49ers plus 5.5. Risk amount still undecided, but at least 1K. I don't like it. I get the instincts and the way we do our fundamentals. I understand why you would like Niners plus 5.5. On some books, it's still plus 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I understand that. And in the playoffs, you want to go with the team that's more physical and that can run the ball better. And then in the playoffs, you want to go with what coach you think is better. And say what I got criticism for Shanahan for days, but Shanahan's a top 10 coach in this league. We can't say the same thing about LaFleur. But here's the thing. LaFleur is going to stay the fuck out of Aaron the Game Rodgers' way. And I think the biggest disparity in this game isn't Jimmy G versus the Packers defense. It's that Niners secondary against Aaron the Game Rodgers. Now, Aaron the Game Rodgers only really has one dog to throw it to. But I just think Aaron's playing he might be playing the best football he ever played. That's why I would caution you on that game. And secondly, I don't like betting your own team. Like I went on a rant earlier, and I wanted to say, man, the playoffs is tribal, and the playoffs is no joke. You're going to have enough anxiety watching your team go to Lambeau Field already. You want to compound that with $1,000? Like, if you even have questions about the game, then you shouldn't be betting that game, especially if it's your own team. If it's like a college fun game, or if it's like a game like, okay, let's think of a 49ers game this year that was kind of easy to predict. Oh, well, one that was easy was when the Niners went up to Seattle. I think it was like a pick 'em or Niners -2. Niners dominate the game, and they still found a way to lose. So it's just, I was on the Niners that week, got burned. Niners do win us more money than not every single year. But I'm worried about Aaron Rodgers cracking that whip. I'm really worried about it, man. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? Lawson, what do you think about all these books pushing parlays? The amateur public loves parlays more than singles, putting more money in the bank. Books accounts on their own. Yeah, everyone goes crazy and says, oh, this is a bad week for Vegas. They're going to fuck us next week. Like, bro, that's kind of fluff, because now that the average Joes are involved in this, the parlays are probably what? 60, 70% of their income. I don't know. I know we got a guy who works in Vegas, so he can give us a little bit of a better information. I'm just spitballing right now, but parlays are cancer. Anyone who knows basic math understands their cancer. Parlays should be an exercise for you. They should be an exercise for fun. If you want to get into betting professionally or betting to seriously supplement your income, use parlays to practice, or use parlays to just swirl your mind, but don't use that as a way to get money. You'll hit one, you'll hit two, but the math isn't in your favor. And it's like everyone wants the biggest nut for the lowest investment. We get it. We get it. But that's not how it's made long term. And everyone has a short term thinking in this world nowadays. And unfortunately, that just gives money to the rich guys. And parlays are absolute cancer. If you're doing teasers, I get behind that. But I even think some of y'all go a little bit too crazy with the teasers. 8, 9, 10 team teasers. Come on, bro. Like, keep it at 5, 6. And do the parlays as an exercise. That's how my dad trained me to start gambling. When I was in middle school, he'd bring me the ticket and say, like, pick 4 or 5. College and NFL. I used to watch a ton of college back then. So, yeah, I would hit, 4 or 5 parlays a season? Yeah, great. But, we were only putting like $5, $10 on it. And if you're putting lots of money on parlays, you're going to get nabbed. And also the parlays, I think they hit a different part of the brain. Now, there's probably a smart person who can come in and explain it, but the parlays really hit a different part of the brain, and I just don't like it. And I've seen some really good batters, man, on my Patreon page, on my YouTube page, very educated batters, just losing it all the parlays for no reason. For no reason. If they just bet single money, they'd win as much money as me every year. But they don't, and they end up losing a lot because they're just chasing that high, chasing that nut. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Scotty Eddie, Tannehill over 13.5 yards rushing. I kind of like that, bro. Tom Hood, Bills Mafia will be on suicide watch after the game. Okay. Bills Mafia, you know, they are a dramatic bunch. Let's just say that. Johnny, this is what I've been trying to say. Like, Foreman's been running so well, and Luan and Saffold might be the best left side in the league if we're talking run blocking, if we're talking push, if we're talking about beating other men to death. Like, give me that left side of the Titans offensive line, bro. Yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to run a lot. Everything's on the table here, and that's what's great about playoffs. You don't have to worry about Josh Allen getting hurt week 12 against the Jets, and then you don't have the rest of the year. Everything's on the line in the playoffs, and every option has to be on the table, and Josh Allen running it is pure fire. Remember his first 2 years in the league, how much he ran? Steez, what do you think about Elijah Mitchell over 18.5 running rush attempts? I absolutely love it, Steez. And I'll tell you what, I'll make a prediction. If Mitchell doesn't get over 18.5 carries, the 49ers are probably going to get blown the fuck out, bro. It's a bad omen if he doesn't get that many touches. Now, his health's always up and down, but from what I read today, he's feeling good, and he should be ready to roll. Yeah, dude, FanDuel is just cancer. It's just cancer. Like, they actually wanted to sponsor me this year. Like, they weren't offering, like, big money, but they offered, like, they offered, like, $1,200, and I just didn't want anything to do with them, man. And, yeah, it's not enough to move me at this point. And I just don't like how they take advantage of the average Joe. Because we were all the average Joe at one point. Yeah, and that's why it's good not to bet your own team, because it's easier to see the fluff. It's easier to see the bias. It's easier to see there's just the pure delusion. It's easier to see it. Okay, Lauren, I'm going to invite you. Hopefully your webcam works. Okay, we got some more. Okay, Craig Story. He had the same question, over 18.5 rush attempts for Mitchell. I like it. I would go over. I would go over. And Jerry, Jerry on Patreon, over KC Buffalo. Yeah, I would go that. I think it's going to go over. I think KC Buffalo is going to be one of the best playoff games we've ever seen in our life. Watch, it's like 41-3. But I really do think it's going to be a close game. Like, I see both teams actually kind of getting into the 30s, or it's going to be like 31-28, that type of score. Let me just use the bathroom. I'll be right back. É bem mais branco. Let's go. Thank you for waiting. Make sure you hit the like button. And for the people who are asking, I will have a new studio for next year. It's just, man, stuff got sidetracked, so, and I think it's kind of funny. Every time I do a video, I record at like a different location. So, but there will be a new studio. Yo, I sent you guys the invites. Where is everyone? Where is everyone? Okay. AJ Fam 871. Longtime Patreon. First live I've caught. I like Packers and Titans money line parlay. And that's about plus 115%. I like that parlay. I really like that parlay, my guy. Let me actually write that down because I just want to think about that. I want to put in the back on my things just so I can see how much it is. Yeah, I really like that one. Now, it is the NFL. Crazy shit can happen, especially because, like I said, there's only 4 games this week, and I like exploiting matchups. I like finding the 4 or 5 mistakes from Vegas that we can take advantage of. But that's one that I kind of liked. I really liked the Elijah Mitchell suggestion as well. That's why I love doing the show. Okay. AP Indy. We are betting 11 to win 10. The Bucs will never lose long term. True, but it's because they have average Joes. Like, for instance, Bovada banned me. I'll give you an example. I wasn't even a high roller. I'm not a high roller now. Sometimes I'll bet like I said, I don't bet a ton, but there are a lot of bets over $1,000, $500, $600, $700 in that range. I'm no high roller, but Bovada even found a way to ban me. Look at Dana White. All the casinos in Vegas banned him because he's actually good at gambling. Okay? He doesn't bet sports, but it's just one example. Oh, thank you, Mag. I appreciate it. Here we go. What's the most you've thrown on the game, Lawson? $9,000. And the thing that's ironic about it was my own team. It was when Stephon Diggs, he had like a turmoil with Kirk Cousins. Vikings started the season really bad. And the Vikings were on the road to the New York Giants. It was Vikings -5 on the road to a terrible Giants team. I think it was Daniel Jones' rookie year. And then I bet that. And I remember watching it with my dad, and I was sweating so much, even though the Vikings won that game easy. The biggest bet of the whole year was the Rams bet last week. It saved me, man, because I had I don't even want to say bad luck. I just was wrong on that Patriots game. Let's see if Lauren, it's working. It's working.
What's up?
Nothing. Michael Mann sent me a message this week, and he's like, Lauren was right about that Philly-Tampa Bay game. I never wavered on Tampa Bay covering, but it was close, man. And sometimes we listen to too much of these injury reports and go a little bit autistic with it.
Hold on a second. What about that was close?
There was nothing. There was close things like we thought Fournette was going to play. He don't play. And then you got Tampa Bay secondary. They can't really cover anyone, but Jalen Hurts can't really throw. No, you remember the comments last week? They were saying every single minute there would be a new Tampa Bay injury. And
yeah,
no, but Michael Mann was giving you credit.
Well, tell him I appreciate that. I mean, I just, that was kind of my biggest, probably my more loud, who in the hell is really riding this Philly back? It's who thinks they're actually going to do this? And, by the end, there's, in my opinion, between that game and the Bills game, I'm if they start pulling the starters, what is more embarrassing that we're in a playoff postseason game and the starters are getting pulled?
But it happens. I mean, there's always 3 or 4 blowouts in the postseason. But,
we got them all in one. We got them all in 1 week.
You don't think we're going to get any blowouts this week? What do you think about the San Fran Packers game?
The under.
What do you think about the spread?
I'm trying to make sure. Is my camera, is it working or is it blurry? Is it okay?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Woohoo! All right, we're back in business. Is it 6 now? It was 5.
5.5, 6, depending where you're placing your bet.
Okay. It's either going to be, there's not going to be any I don't think it'll be we're just San Fran covers. They're either going to win or lose by more than the spread. They're not going to lose by 5 or 4 or 3, in my opinion. I either think they're going to, which I don't think they're going to win, and I hate to say that because I'll show you. Hold on a second. Let me grab this.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got this right here. A very good friend of mine, a very good friend, like a brother to me, passed earlier this year. He's a big San Francisco fan. So I inherited I got some of his jerseys, his shirts. I got his Jimmy G bobblehead over here.
That doesn't even look like Jimmy G. Rest in peace to your friend, though, but that doesn't even look like Jimmy G.
And last week, or, the last week of the season was kind of tough for me because the Saints still had a chance. They had a chance, but it was San Fran. So I was well, I actually hope San Fran makes it. I think they'll go farther in the playoffs, because the Saints would be a one and done, with the way that their team's looking. But I think that one thing we've been saying all year is, and I don't think it'll be any different now, is that the buys didn't help anybody. If anything, it was, it hurts you.
They're negative. They're not negative, unfortunately.
So I think that Green Bay, I don't like the whole, they're rested. I don't think that, I think you go in with a hot hand, Cincinnati, I think is going to win. But Green Bay, I think they're going to win. And if they win, it's going to be 10, 12, something like that. I don't know that it's ever really going to be close. If somehow there's this San Francisco miracle, it'll be because their defense scores a pick 6 off of Rodgers, and they come out early and score first.
Yeah, they need to score first, or they're going to get their ass blown out. I agree with what you're saying, because San Fran's actually pretty good with playing with the lead. Let's throw that Titans game out of Jimmy G.
Yeah.
But they actually are. I
agree. I think that, all around wise, when it comes to the running and, the defense, San Fran, really has what it takes. They got kind of a crap end of the stick by having to go to Lambeau, but it's the way that the cookie crumbles. I mean, somebody's got to go there, right? So do I think it's possible they could pull it off? Absolutely. But my head is telling me one thing, and your heart tells you the other.
You want Jimmy G to? Do you want Jimmy G to win or something? Or
I would love it. I told you if I was Jimmy G, I'd just stare at myself in the mirror all day.
That's great.
I want Jimmy G to have a job next year somewhere.
He will.
And if it's not going to be San Fran, because let's be honest, they have a winning record with Jimmy G and a losing record without him.
Yeah, but like Nick Mullins and
right. So he does a lot for that team. He plays to his opponents. And he takes what the defense gives him. He does.
Does he?
I think so. I think he's a game manager.
I don't think he's all that good a game manager. Like, I get what you're saying. It's just the San Fran, they don't have the same defense they had like when they actually made it to the Super Bowl.
And here's the thing, right? Okay, and I agree there. But so like Bosa's got to play. If Bosa doesn't play, there's a problem.
It's looking like he's going to play.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, and the thing is, so they came out last week with this Debo run game, and Dallas didn't know. They were running in circles. They didn't know what the hell was happening. You know what I mean? So they came out with this Debo run game. Debo's throwing for touchdowns. He's running. He's catching. He's basically, just doing that jack of all trades because he's their best player, right? So, I guess Kittle might have something to say about that, but he was doing everything, and now you have to go into Green Bay now, and you can't fool anybody with that now because you did it last week. So you have to be creative again. Now Shanahan, and then what's it? LaFleur, is that his name? LaFleur almost lost his job for the decision he made in the playoffs last year by that whole not letting Rodgers go for it and whatever, you know what I mean? So he's going to be extra careful about his decisions, I think. To me, it's probably the hardest game on the line.
Oh, I don't think so.
I do.
But why do you let's just bounce to the other game. Why do you think the Bengals are going to beat the Titans?
I ride with the hot hand, man.
I get it, but
okay. So I think that Tennessee getting Derrick Henry back is going to be an overreaction. He's not going to be the 100% workhorse week 1 on his first week back from breaking his foot. Now the other kid they got,
but they've been running it without him. Like Devontae Foreman's been running. We talked about that last week.
And I just said that. The other kid that they've got, Foreman, right? So I think Foreman. The other kid that they got, Foreman, is not half bad. He's not half bad at all. But you're looking at Joe Mixon. You're looking at Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, who he didn't even use last week. Yeah. Okay. Uzoma. I just think when it comes, I think this is not going to be a who can run the ball better game. This is going to be who has more weapons and who's going to throw it down the field better and who's going to make more explosive plays.
You think the Titans are going to start throwing it 40 plus times, or
they're going to have to. They're going to have to keep up with Burrows.
No. Okay, here's why the Bengals beat the Raiders last week, because they ran it. And that offense line wasn't able to get exposed. When they did throw it predictably, they did get exposed. And one thing about Titans, I see some people in the comment section picking holes in the Titans secondary. I'm fine with that. You can pick it apart, whatever. But one thing you can't pick apart is you can't run the rock on the Titans, man.
You've got Mixon, right? You've got Mixon. Mixon's going to do his thing. Henry's going to do his thing. Everyone's going to do their thing there. But I think the team that wins this is going to be the team that can make more explosive downfield plays.
But Lauren, did you think the Bengals looked good last week?
I think they did what they did to win. I mean,
thought they looked terrible.
I wouldn't say terrible. I mean, what did you think? Did you think the Raiders were just god awful then?
I felt like the Raiders brought their D+ game to it, and I felt like the Bengals, the game plan was good. But listen, without the ref ball, I'm not sure the Bengals even win that game. Not trying to be crazy, but that was ref ball. Let's be honest. That's like South American soccer type call right there. That's really bad. But let's even forget about that. The fact that Carr had the rock to win that game after the Bengals controlled, like, let's be honest, Bengals controlled like 90% of that game. So I get what you're saying. It's just, I didn't think the Bengals played good enough. Felt like they should have won in a blowout, to be completely honest. And if you're having problems scoring against the Raiders' red zone defense, the Titans are gonna get closer to people. They're not gonna let. I don't know, man. I don't think it ends well in the red zone for the Bengals. That's my big problem. But
I think that people aren't going to give this Bengals offense as much credit as they deserve. They've beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten some very good teams this year, just as much as Tennessee did. Tennessee has beaten some very good teams this year. And didn't both of these teams lose to the Jets at one time? Both of them, right?
Yeah. Can we throw that out?
So I said it's a wash, right? Because they both did. So they both have beaten some very, very good teams. And the Bengals are there for a reason. I placed a bet at the beginning of the season in the preseason for the Bengals to make the playoffs.
No, I
did. But in the preseason, I picked the Bengals to win the division and go to the playoffs. And I mean, are they going to make it all the way? I'd love to see it, but Buffalo's going to stop.
We've been on the Bengals since early in the season, but sometimes you have to know, like, the nut has already been, like, dispatched, and is this just too much? And also, just, like, I get what you're saying, though, but my last question to you about this game is Zach Taylor versus Vrabel. And I'll let you comment on that, but I just want to say something. Like, we know the problem with the Titans is they have 6-7 minutes a game will they're completely collapse. Like, and I understand that, and I'm worried about it. But I don't think Zach Taylor's all that great a coach either, though. And I like what Vrabel's done this year a lot, and I'm no Vrabel guy.
Well, because honestly, Tennessee shouldn't even be here. You lose Derrick Henry, you lost A.J. Brown, like they really shouldn't even be here, right?
Saffold missed like 8-9 games. It's crazy how many injuries they have.
So they shouldn't be here. I just think that riding the hot hand right now, this Bengals team is jiving together. They are making the plays, the downfield plays. They are making magic happen. And I feel like they are legit going to be the ones that make the big plays to squeeze out the win. I think they're going to make more explosive downfield plays.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It would be different because I think Tannehill's due for a few turnovers. But the problem with the Bengals D is they don't disguise anything. You know when they're in man, you know when they're in cover two. They play cover two so much. I don't think that's going to fool Tannehill all that much. And we'll see if they go 8 men in the box and make Tanny throw it. That could make it interesting. But yeah, Bengals are more explosive, but.
And that's what I think. I think whoever gets the most explosive plays is going to be the ones that win. And I'm riding with the Bengals because I think that Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase together are have more chemistry than Tannehill does with any of his receivers. I'm not downplaying AJ Brown by any means, but I think that Burrows and Chase and Burrows and Higgins and Uzoma, whoever, pick one. Boyd, you know what I mean? Just pick someone. I think he just has more of a connection with his guys. It's almost like, I just feel like he has more ability to make downfield explosive plays. And that's what I think you're going to have to do to beat this Tennessee team that really is proven that they can be in the postseason without their starters. And Cincinnati's going to come in ready. I do. I think they're going to come in ready. They've been the dark horse all year, of people a lot of people pick them to be fourth in their division.
Yeah, but it's just the last thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee wins the game by like 10 plus points.
And you know, that could happen too. But I think Joe Mixon, like people are downplaying. Are you not thinking he's elite? Like
Joe Mixon's one of my favorite players in the league. But I'm telling you, Lauren, you can't run it on the Tennessee Titans front seven. Like, the way to get him is what you're saying. They have to throw it, but it's hard to throw it if Joe's on his back. And the problem is, if the Bengals get too one-dimensional, then the Titans have just, they don't have a dominant pass rusher, but they do just enough to get to you. And I'm worried about this Bengals offense line in the run game too. I just look at the penetration Tennessee's defensive line gets. Like, there's no sexy stars. Like, there's no Aaron Donald to talk about. But, man, they get a ton of penetration. It's ridiculous sometimes.
They do, and they've helped this team, that Tennessee team, when they've needed it most. When they had a lot of people out and there was, they were struggling with having their superstars. So I get what you're saying 100%. I feel that these teams offensively, though, whoever, I'll say it again, makes the most explosive plays is going to be the one standing at the end. And I just think that Burrows and his boys have more chemistry to make it happen. That's just what I think.
So, yeah. Any thoughts on the other games?
Let's see. Buffalo. I'm on Buffalo.
You got to go. Are you like really sure? Are you throwing money at it?
Yeah.
You want to tell us why? No, I get it. Like, I get it completely, but that just seems like a game. Maybe we should just like sit back and just enjoy the show,
I'm not throwing the house at it. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not going to give up my 401k over here, but I'm throwing money at it. Hey, they went into Kansas City's home and won earlier this year. And so they already proved they can do it. And really, who is playing better than Josh Allen right now?
That's what I'm saying. They're peaking at the right time. Like that, the stuff you said about Cincinnati heating up, like I didn't really buy it. But if we're talking like heat check, Bills are probably the hottest team right now.
Yeah, who's playing better than
legit give them a heat check?
Who is really playing better than Josh Allen? And Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs, right?
Well, they finally started throwing to him.
And I was just going to say, it's like it's almost like he's been invisible for half the year, right? Or more than half the year. And not for nothing, but like Josh Allen has Diggs and and he's using Dawson Knox quite a bit now, which is good because he used him quite a bit last week. But again, you got to start comparing. Burrows has more weapons than all of these guys. You just have to be able to, put it into formation. And I don't think anyone's playing better than Josh Allen right now. I even think their defense is playing up to. Granted, they were going against Mac Jones, last week, a rookie, never been in the playoffs. There's factors there, but their defense is even playing better. And it's Mahomes and it's Arrowhead, and he's not just going to lay down and die. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Buffalo pulls it off.
Yeah, no, and one thing I've been saying about this game the whole week, and Michael Mann wants to come on and ask you some questions, so I sent him an invite. Michael Mann, check your email. But one thing I've been saying,
Banter.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying. Who knows what he's going to ask? I didn't plan anything with him.
He's going to ask if Sean Payton's coming back to the Saints. That's what he's going to ask.
Yeah, well, dude, I heard Jerry Jones wants to trade for Sean Payton. And I read an article a few weeks ago that was actually really close to happening. And then last minute didn't go through, but whatever. One thing I agree with you about, and some people in the comment section, is I like Buffalo's secondary better than KC's secondary. And that might be a difference. Buffalo's got really good safeties. Like, we know Tre'Davious White's out at corner, so we don't get that. But I would go Buffalo secondary over KC's. That might be the difference.
Now, I don't want to be so naive to think that, I'm playing Buffalo just because the return is better. You know what I mean? And but really, both of these two teams are equal. It's just right now, right now it's like a tug of war, in my opinion.
But I think the Bills run the ball better in this game.
And who would have thought we'd be saying that right now?
I know it's Twilight Zone. I remember when you came on here and said like Colts money pick, and the Bills got, and the Bills couldn't run it that game, and the Bills got ran on. The thing with the Chiefs, though, they need to run it against the Bills, and we know Andy Reid, his software resets mid-game, and then he'll just start throwing it, even though he needs to stay consistent with the run, at least a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that game. I think that's the best game of the weekend. Might be one of the best playoff games we ever see. Hopefully it's good.
And let's not forget, the Chiefs ended Buffalo's, life last year in the playoffs. So granted, they got some revenge by going in there earlier this year, but Buffalo went home last year after they played the Chiefs. So they ended their playoff life. I'm a little revenge person. You know what I mean? I believe that there's some, something to say about that. And I just think that, Josh, like I said, he's a beast. And there's going to be Buffalo people in that state. They are going to travel to go watch their team. They're going to be there. We always talk about how sick and crazy these Buffalo fans are. They have been waiting since 1990, whatever, for this. Those people are lunatics.
You want to get Michael Mann in?
Yeah. Bring in my favorite Panther.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, hey.
And
my man.
Hey.
And just to comment on one thing you wrote in the comment section, Mike, I actually completely agree with what you said about like how you wish like you had another fan base, because I've been to one Panther game and it was the most sterile environment I've ever seen in an NFL stadium.
No, I mean Panthers fans are all right, especially this year. They've been pretty good of how pissed off they've been. I love seeing that. But I was just saying that like I would have so much fun getting to be like a crazy Bills fan or a crazy Eagles fan or a crazy Saints fan. That would just, I would love to do some of the stuff, the crazy stuff that they get to pull off.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat
people
said
get so
that
drunk at Buffalo games, they like fall asleep. I used to go as like a little kid and stuff, and they would like, half of them would be asleep at like halftime. This one, the Bills were really bad.
Dude, yeah. When I went to Miami last month, there were a ton of drunk fans there.
Yeah,
including me, because it was a blowout.
All right, so what did you want to ask Lauren?
Wait, hold on. Before you go there, somebody in the chat said I was terrible and told you to kick me off.
It's you too, man.
It must be my first time. Okay.
Hey, you got me last week. Last week, I said the Eagles were gonna I came on here and strongly presented an argument saying the Eagles were gonna cover that spread. I was leading that charge. And then they just came in and got their butts whooped. So I had that one. That was not my best moment right there. But yes, I do. Here's what I'm curious about. So you said that you're picking the Bengals because you just trust the Burrow and Chase connection more than anything the Titans have. The Bengals suck in the red zone, and we saw that last week. I believe they're about 20th in the NFL in red zone scoring.
Because of all their field goals?
Yes, they love to kick field goals. The Titans don't. The Titans actually, they score with Henry. They score with Foreman. And on defense, they're even better in the red zone. So that's why I think the Titans are going to win this pretty easily. I think there's a good chance where we could see like a scenario where the Bengals have like 100 more total yards, but they lose by 7 points. So that's where I'm at with it.
I mean, I'm not dogging your perspective there at all. I think that every time you turn around, the Bengals are in the damn red zone, whether they make a field goal or they score a touchdown. Every time you turn around, there's a 30, 40-yard pass, and all of a sudden, we've gone from the 50-yard line. Now we're in the red zone every 5 seconds. So they do, and that's one thing that I'm hoping that they did was work on their red zone not having to, because they're not going to win it with field goals. They're not playing the Raiders again. You know what I'm saying? So they are playing Tennessee, who's definitely on another level. Way more elite than the Raiders. So they are going to have to punch it in with Mixon, or Burrows is going to have to run it in himself, or whatever the case may be, because he's proven he can do that too. I mean, he's no Josh Allen, but he's proven he can do that. So, they are going to have to get more touchdowns. They are in the red zone often. And I think, and the reason I think Cincinnati is exactly what I told John a few minutes ago, is that I think they have the ability to make more downfield explosive plays where all of the, he has the ability, Burrows does, to go from, the Cincinnati 20 to all of a sudden be on the Tennessee 30 in like 3 plays.
I agree.
You know
with
what I
that,
mean?
But here's the thing. I think the time possession is really going to be skewed in Tennessee's favor this game. And I'm curious to hear what Dr. Lawson has to say about this. But the Bengals defensive line is in shambles at the moment. They were down to their last 2 tackles last week. Your boy Hendrickson is questionable with an injury. Hubbard's beat up right now. They have all these guys who are like limping into this game on the line, trying to stop Derrick Henry and Foreman. And I just don't see them being able to do that. Like, I could easily see the Titans running for more than 200 yards. This might be a game where,
and I know that they do have the injury factor. I've been seeing that this week. You're absolutely right. They've got a lot of defensive challenges right now with them. And I don't know who's playing. Everybody's going to be questionable until game time. Let's just put it that way. Yes. But I mean, everyone's going to be questionable until game time. But I'm not deciding. I'm not going to change my opinion off of that, because I still think that, I know defense wins ball games, but I think in the playoff situation, if you can be Brady, or something in that, if you can make plays to his caliber, you can win.
Yeah, but okay, aren't we getting a little bit excited about the Bengals, though? Because I let that one slide when you said, they got the most weapons in the playoffs.
They do.
I don't know. No, okay, I think everyone's going.
The Chiefs exist.
Everyone's going crazy about Jamar Chase. Like, Jamar Chase is damn good, but saying he's better than like rookie Randy Moss, like a lot of people are saying, is kind of ridiculous. Plus, he gets the extra game to pad the stats. Like, secondly, okay, T. Higgins and all that. Like, I would rather have like a dog like Devontae Adams or Kelsey and Tyreek the Thrill Hill than anything the Bengals have. And also, like, that's serious though.
I just said they had. I said I'm talking about quantity.
But it's not about quantity, because Burrow can't sit back there and make 4 or 5 reads. He can make 2 reads or he's going to be on his ass. And then, like, Cincinnati fans, they complain about Burrow, like, he holds the ball too long. No, bro. Like, it's like you have to make 3 reads to be a really good quarterback in the league. And that's my main problem. And, like, I really think Sam Hubbard, look at his play like the last 5-6 weeks. It's fallen off, man. Like, either way, if he plays or not, he was like a top 10 defensive end for most of the season, and now he's and like time of possession is going to be a factor because, yeah. So I'll let you go, Lauren. I don't want to attack you, but I get like.
Listen, we agree to disagree often, and. Yeah. I mean, we do. We agree. And I was completely against everybody in their Philly nonsense last week. So, I mean, we can agree to disagree often, but I'll tell you, there's everybody's, put it this way. If you're in the playoffs right now, which all these last, 8 teams are, is there 8 left, right? So if you're in the playoffs, it means you've got a good running back, or even a good running back backup, okay, which is what Tennessee's got. And now they got their number 1 back. You've got a good running back. You've got weapons on the field, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuels, Cooper Kupps. You know what I mean? You're an elite team. So you got to put Cincinnati in this level. They're there.
I think they're elite. Lauren, they're like, look at their defense, though. Like, they're not elite, though. Like,
their offenses
last week. And they beat the Chiefs at home when the Chiefs did. It happened. It was magical. Like, it was one of the most magical performances by Burrow ever. But sometimes, like, like Cinderella has to bring in the like what, stiletto.
I do think the Bengals are feeling themselves a little bit after that playoff win, though. Like, and if you like, Lawson, you've talked about it. I mean, the Bengals should have put up at least like 30, 40 points on the Raiders. But every time they got down to the red zone, they stalled out. And that's why I think they're going to lose this week.
And we can discuss it, next week. We'll see. I mean, I could be 1,000% wrong, and I'll be eating my words next week. I just think that the Bengals will. I think that I'm riding the hot hand right now, and they are the hot hand. When you're on a hot table in Vegas, you don't leave it. So I'm riding the hot hand on the Bengals. I mean, it's just the way. It's just I think they're going to be able to gym together a little bit better than Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to score. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close. And I think it might even go into overtime, but I think that the Bengals pull it off.
Yeah. Let's move to the Tampa Bay and the Rams. Mike, did you do any research on these referees?
Yes, I did. I was hoping to find something like make a colossal discovery here, figure out like the Bucs are 10-0 in the last like 10 games that this ref has had, but I didn't find anything like spectacular. It's Sean Hockley, and Sean Hockley is typically not a bad ref. I've looked at his last couple Bucs and Rams games.
Isn't that Ed Hockley's son, right?
Yes.
Ed Hockley's son.
I think his crew threw the most flags, but he doesn't have his crew,
second most penalty yardage. But this will make you feel better. The only Tampa Bay game that he officiated this year was the Cowboys-Bucs game, week 1. And in that game, the Bucs got penalized 11 times, which was their season high for the year. So I don't think there'll be a problem in terms of being scared to flag the Bucs. I would be more concerned about something happening towards the end, if with last week with the Raiders and Bengals, if there's a no call that doesn't happen or a penalty is not called, that would scare me more. But I don't see that happening this week. My thing is, I think this game is going to be decided. I think the Rams are going to win by 7 points. So I don't think it's going to necessarily come down to an officiating call.
Can I ask you guys something? I got a little bit worried before I went on, I saw Whitworth was out for the Rams. That was one thing that really got me. But also his backup did start 2 games, and I watched one of those games, and he actually was pretty good. But, yeah, it got me a little bit nervous because we know the Rams' offensive line isn't at the level it used to be at already. So.
Yeah, I look at this game, and the thing that's really making me feel good about the Rams is, one, like you've talked about, who's going to cover Odell and Cooper Kupp. And 2, if you look at the other side of the ball, it just seems like every offensive matchup for the Buccaneers, they're going to lose. I don't see Mike Evans beating Jalen Ramsey. I don't see this offensive line being able to hold up against this Rams pass rush. And it just feels like in order for the Bucs to pull this thing off, Brady's going to have to absolutely take over the game, which is hard to bet on when you see all the weapons the Rams have on the other side of the ball.
Go on, Lauren. What's your view on this game?
I've been kind of going back and forth with this game all week. Is Fournette a go? Is he a go?
They're saying it as of today, but we don't. Yeah. They're saying,
and it's a hamstring too, so that could turn. I mean, he could try to step on the field and warm up, and then go back to the injury report.
Yeah,
I lied before. This is probably the hardest game to make. I lied before.
Here's something else I found interesting. So, in the first matchup that these two teams played, Tom Brady was the Buccaneers' leader in rushing yards. So I'm curious to see how this. I'm curious to see how this Bucs rushing offense is going to be, because this is why I'm saying, in order for the Bucs to win, Brady's going to do it all by himself. And when I love Tom Brady, but at 44, that's not something I feel great about betting on.
Let me just answer the super chat 1 second. I'll let you think about it, Lauren. Buffalo, Green Bay, Rams, KC, New England. Who the fuck's NO? Buffalo, Green Bay, Rams, KC. New England. I don't understand that. Okay, 7-point teaser. I understand this. Buffalo +9. Buffalo over 47. Okay. Buffalo Chiefs over 47. I actually do like that. Buffalo +9. I like that. I like teasing that game either way. Rams +9.5. Rams Bucs over 41. I actually really like that teaser though, unless someone gets blown out and doesn't show up. I like that one. All right, but let's get back to the game. So I guess my big question is, because what Mike said is one thing I noticed too. Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians, we talked about Andy Reid getting away from the run. He loves abandoning the run more than anyone, and that was apparent in the Rams game. And then one thing about Tampa Bay's offensive line, we hyped them up all year, and they're damn good, but they've had problems with smaller, more versatile fronts like Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, Aaron Donald. Like, he's huge, but he's athletic, and he can pinch. He can go where he needs to. I wonder about that matchup. So that's
especially with Whitworth's bad ankle. It looks, or I'm sorry, not Whitworth, with Tristan Wirf's bad ankle. He's going to be playing on a high ankle sprain. Do you really want him trying to keep up with Von Miller with hampered mobility?
Dude, Ryan Kerrigan looked like fucking prime Michael Strahan after the injury last week. And then when the backup came in, Ryan Kerrigan was looking like a fucking boss.
Dude, I'm telling you, last week, I know the Eagles started slow, but the defense legit took a stand in the second quarter. And if the Eagles offense just hadn't gotten flagged anytime they moved the ball or turned the ball over anytime they got to the red zone, that they might have covered that spread. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
It was there, Lauren. It was there to be
that
covered.
That was pissing me off last week.
I watched the all 22. Goddard and Devonta Smith.
Yes.
They were open the whole damn game, and it was wild when I was watching it. And maybe it's just me having to eat crow on Hurts. But yeah, so
Eagles had no business being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Probably not.
None. They did you look and see that the only team that they beat with a winning record all year was the Saints?
Huh.
That is, every other win they had a losing record.
And people are trying to say, school me on what NO is. I know what NO is, but New Orleans isn't playing this week. It's just go. And here's what so I'm a little bit worried about the Rams offensive line if they're not able to rush Cam Akers a little bit. If Cam Akers gets going, I'm not asking for Cam Akers to go over 100. I'm not asking for Sony Michel to cut them up. I'm just asking for a little bit. I worry, though, if they get one-dimensional and Stafford starts getting hit. But I'll tell you what, man, if Stafford can stand back there, there's going to be open guys. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at. I think Stafford actually puts up more yards than Brady this game, as crazy as it sounds.
I disagree with that.
You guys are both on the Rams?
Oh, I'm on the Rams.
I'm on the Rams.
I'm not wavering.
Huh?
I'm on the Rams.
I know you are. Lawson, you're on the Rams?
Yeah. I think the Rams are going to win. The Whitworth thing really gave me a punch to the gut today. Luckily,
the other thing too about that is the Bucs defense looked so good last week against Philadelphia. That was the entire basis for my argument, because up until last week, the Bucs run defense had really kind of looked like they had taken a step back. I mean, even my Panthers were able to run on them. So it was, I really thought the Eagles were going to be able to get something going. They were going to be able to have success. But looked great. So I'm curious to see what the Rams do this week. I will say in the first matchup, the Rams had a pretty good, or I wouldn't say good, but a decent rushing day against the Bucs run defense with Sony Michel. So I think there's hope that they can at least run the ball and, keep themselves in 3rd and 6 or less. But as far as gashing the Buccaneers, I don't see that at all.
Not going to happen.
Which is not what we're asking for. But
and I don't want them to do it. I actually want play action Stafford, Cooper Kupp down low, Odell going deep, Higbee. I think that's more potent than anything for instance, Bengals are throwing out.
And here's a matchup you'll like, Lawson. So, Todd Bowles is a big blitz guy, right? He loves to blitz.
He sends the most blitzes in the league. I didn't even fucking know that.
He's the top blitzer in the NFL. Matthew Stafford has the top passer. I don't mean to get statistical, but Matthew Stafford is the best passer rating against the blitz in the league. And we saw that on Monday night with the Cardinals. So I think he is a good chance. If they try to come at him, I'm curious to see if Todd Bowles is going to try to come at him like he's done in previous weeks, as opposed to going into coverage, because that's how I think you beat Stafford.
Go on, Lauren.
I think, well, let's remember, OBJ wasn't there the first time that they played, so he wasn't even a factor, and the Rams won then. I think that the Rams have something special going on right now. Again, a lot of weapons, and I think that Tampa's lack of superstars that they keep losing is finally going to catch up with them.
Yeah, because that Antonio Brown thing has to have an effect, because Chris Godwin, when he got hurt, it didn't really faze me, because I know Antonio Brown he's probably the best receiver that was on that team. And then what Mike said, one thing I just keep going back to, I said in the video today, if Jalen Ramsey takes away Mike Evans, I worry for Brady a little bit. I don't think you're going to be able to dump it down to Giovanni Bernard for 70 yards, for instance.
The only thing that concerns me is there's very few teams, or actually there's not really any teams that Brady ever tanks against. You know what I mean?
What do you mean tanks? Like plays bad against?
Just Dolphins.
The Dolphins in Miami, yeah.
Other than that, none.
Well, and the Saints. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hey,
well, no,
listen,
because the Saints actually have the perfect formula for them. They play press and they get pressure, and you make Brady stand in there and take those hits. And at 45, he doesn't want to do that. So that's why the Saints always own him. Yeah,
they've kind of had his number quite a bit the last 2 seasons, except for the one game that mattered.
Yeah, and I'll admit that was actually kind of funny watching y'all beat them 9-0 this year. I never root for the Saints, but that game I laughed.
Oh, when we shut them out.
Yes, but we should get back to the playoffs.
So Brady very rarely gets rattled. You know what I mean? So there's only a few teams that have ever really done it to him. So even when they were playing the Rams earlier this year, they were still in the game. I think they lost by 10.
Brady threw the 480.
And the other thing about that game is Lawson said that Giovanni Bernard may not be involved that much. He had 9 catches in that first game. So it seems evident to me the Rams were able to take away Brady's receivers, but Brady was able to go to Bernard. So I'm curious, now Tampa Bay's in a situation where they have less weapons to attack the Rams with. So I think that's where Brady's going to look to. It wouldn't surprise me if Bernard is the second leading receiver in this game.
Yeah, and let me just answer this about Sebastian Joseph Day. Sebastian Joseph Day is actually really good. He's a nose tackle. He's been out, and he's coming back. And one thing about the Rams, they don't have any depth on the team just because of their decisions, their drafts, the lack of draft picks. He's coming back. I think it helps. Another injury I'm a little bit worried about is Ernest Jones for the Rams. He's really good cover linebacker. I actually thought they were going to be audacious and put him on Gronk. That's probably not going to happen now, but Brady's going to have to go to Gronk. And it's just I know you saw the Carolina game, Mike. I don't know. I keep saying that. I'm pretty sure that's the game Brady put him in the doghouse.
He went to AB the first game, and then Gronk destroyed us the second game.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The only thing that makes me nervous is that there's always those times where it's just all of a sudden oh, there's Brady. There's Brady pulling it out. There it is. There's the GOAT. He did it again. Everyone counted him out, and there he go. So if there's one player in this league that you can never count out, it's him. So, I mean, we all know that. We're all football fans. We've been watching him for 20 years. You know what I mean? So I just don't think, I like the Rams. I do, but I'm not confident enough to bet it because Tampa at home, Brady makes superstars out of everybody. One year it was Danny Amendola in the Super Bowl out of nowhere with 3 touchdowns. The next year it was this person, so he'll find somebody in the red zone. His problem isn't going to be finding someone to throw to. He'll find somebody.
I don't know. The game the Rams played last week, I think one of the unsung stories that really happened by the Rams was how well they were able to cover in the secondary. Like, I know that D-line ate them alive, but there was nothing downfield. And that's why Kyler Murray played so bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Yangling for whoever was asking.
Oh, yeah, Yangling?
Yangling. It's good.
Oh, yeah, I don't say that shit.
Yangling.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I think that, I mean, I think this will be another close game. But I just, if it goes and it's like into overtime, it's Brady's game. If Stafford can win in 4 quarters, he wins in 4 quarters. If it goes into overtime, Brady wins.
I agree with that. I think Rams need to dominate this thing like early and often as they can. I don't want them trailing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
If they can get the lead and they can win in 4 quarters, the Rams win. If it goes into overtime, kiss it goodbye. Brady wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so are you giving it? So you're going Rams, Lauren, right?
I'm going Rams.
So, all right, Mike, let me get your opinion. 49ers, Packers. Do you think the 49ers are going to pull this upset?
No, but I see why people are thinking it. And look, when I think about the Packers versus the 49ers, the first piece of film that I think about is that Packers run defense versus the Browns. And I think that, like, we saw that game. I mean, Baker was terrible. All the Packers had to do to win that, to clinch that deal, was hold Nick Chubb down, and they couldn't do it. They were sending everyone at him, and he was still averaging 8 yards a carry. So I think if they get going early, if the Niners get going early, which they have, they're one of the best like first quarter teams in the league. I think they can take this. And you got Green Bay coming off a bye week, who's never really good in the first quarter of games. And I think like my bold prediction for this game is that the Niners will be leading at halftime. That's what I think, because they just get started much faster and they can run the ball, which is really the weakness of the Packers defense. So I think the Packers are going to win. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to allow this team to beat him again, but I do think the Niners are going to make a game of this early.
Go on, Lauren.
Nothing. I agree with him. I think that the Packers are going to win, but I do see why people are on San Fran, because if they can get out early with the run game, with Eli Mitchell is a beast. Like, nobody really had anything invested in him this year because they all thought it was going to be Trey Sermon. And this kid just emerged. And I would personally rather have Eli Mitchell than Aaron Jones right now. So,
but with the whole thing is, I worry about the Packers using too much Aaron Jones because I really like A.J. Dillon. I think he gives the Packers the physicality they need. But the main matchup for me in this game is this San Fran secondary. I've been saying it all year. Yeah. They're really slow, man.
They are. And the problem is, and the penalties will be a big thing in this game too.
Yeah, I should have looked at that. But Lawson, you make a good point. I mean, the reason that they were able to hold Dallas down last week is because they played a lot of man coverage. But who is covering Devontae Adams in this game? If they play zone, Aaron Rodgers is going to tear them apart one way or the other. If they play man, Devontae Adams is going to beat him. And without Nick Bosa there, there's not going to be that pressure.
Yeah.
People keep talking about how cold it is.
Plays, I don't know if he has enough help up there on the front, because I'm a big Bosa guy. But even this year, he's had great games, and he can't get home because it is really a team effort, the defensive line, more than people think.
Yeah, and they've slowly given away pieces.
Pushing the pocket back. So, that's one reason. So it's a team effort, man.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you there.
I just think that, we're at the point again where you're comparing playmakers, and Rodgers. I mean, you can't really go against him when it comes to, especially at home in Lambeau. I know it sounds really square, but I mean, you're just going against the whole. You're going with the whole playmaker thing. Now I know that San Fran has had their number these last few times. There's always one team that's like your kryptonite, right? And San Fran has really ruined things for the Packers the last few times they played, but. It's a different team every year. So I think that, now you're in Lambeau, you're not in San Francisco. I don't think the weather's an issue. People keep talking crap about that. It's no sunshine and strawberries in San Fran either. So, granted, it's not the tundra, but I don't think that's really going to kill San Fran. I just think that there's going to be more. There's going to be more explosive plays again on Green Bay.
Any last words?
I'm good.
All right. Any last words, Lauren?
I think Buffalo's a money pick.
Oh,
I like that.
It's like the one game I wouldn't put money on.
That game's going to be so damn crazy. Like, anyone who puts money on that, you're going to have a fucking heart attack.
Dude,
I know.
You're going to need stress
You're gonna
therapy
start
after
vaping
that.
like me. Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
I can't wait for it. Mike, are you not on the Bills?
No, I'm on the Bills. I agree with you, but I just don't think I don't want to bet this because it could go either way. Like, I think this game has the most possibilities of any game of the week. Like, I could see both teams blowing out the other, but I could also see it going into overtime. Like, there's just infinite possibilities with this game, and that's why I wouldn't touch it.
I got a question for both of you. What games do you each think is going to be the highest scoring total? What games?
Yeah, easily.
Okay, and the lowest?
Titans, Bengals.
Yeah, I agree.
Stop it, Lawson.
Possessions are going to be limited in that game.
No, but what Mike said, though, like, it's not sexy. It's not good for ESPN headlines, but time of possession is really the thing to look at for over-under and how much teams throw the ball. Those are usually the biggest indicators. The Titans games, they go quick, man. And if you're ever watching on Red Zone or you're watching their games, they're in the fourth quarter. Teams are just starting the third quarter. That's how the Vikings used to be back in the day, for instance.
Do you like Burrows for over 3 TDs?
No.
Or at least
the Titans
three TDs?
No, because the Titans are so good in the red zone, and the Bengals haven't looked as good lately. And even if you're telling me that Mixon's not going to be one of the guys to get the touchdowns, even if like we've talked about, possessions will be limited in this game. So having Burrow for 3 touchdowns, I feel like that's kind of a lot.
And plus, Lauren, you talked about T. Higgins. Like, I love T. Higgins, but look at the Bengals this year. They don't really use him in the red zone. Like, they try to throw like fades to Jamar Chase, and he really isn't physical, and he's good at high point in footballs. But like, Higgins is the guy to use in the red zone for me, and they don't really use him.
So do you like the other way, Tannehill for 2 TDs or 3 TDs?
No,
Or you don't think either one of them?
I'm more conservative with people like with quarterback touchdown, so I got a bias anyways. But the Titans, they normally just slam that shit in. They don't even try to play action when they're down in the 5. Like, they just slam it, which is good. It's better.
That's the right thing to do.
How many
really is if you can move them.
Allen for 3 TDs?
You said who?
Josh Allen.
Oh, Josh Allen. I think he gets 3 TDs.
I would go that.
Dude, I've had Devin Singletary in fantasy so much this year, and I've gotten no rushing TDs out of him. I got he played good against the Jets, and that was it.
Dude, look at how good he was. Yeah, and he's been.
Oh, and he played well against the Panthers.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course.
So the Bills KC game is the high. What do you guys got for a number?
What do you mean?
Total.
Oh, jeez. I dare say let me think. I'm doing math.
Are you
61?
Are you in the
61?
60s?
Yeah.
You're in the 60s, Lawson?
I got 31-28 Bills.
Yeah, I'm on the same score. So
I'm in the 60s.
Yeah, I actually like how one person on Patreon, and I even mentioned earlier this week, I really like the under in the first half in Chiefs Bills. It's 27, which is fucking gigantic for a first half. And there's got to be a little bit of nerves, right? I mean, they're not like robots. Yeah, I like that under in the first half. That could come back and bite me, though. It could be like fucking 14-14 at the end of the first quarter for all we know.
I think the Chiefs are going to be the one to start slow. Here's the thing about this game.
I don't know how
the Chiefs defense gets stops, because what they do, they like to play a lot of, they man up everybody, which that's a good way to attack most teams. But the thing about the Bills is Josh Allen runs. So not only can he take off with his legs himself, but he can also throw on the run and give those receivers more time to get open. So I'm curious to see if they'll play zone more. But that's what they tried in the first game. They tried to play zone coverage against the Bills, and it blew up in their face. So I'm curious to see how Steve Spagnuolo attacks this Buffalo offense.
So we're going to write this all down right now. Who do we have in the Super Bowl? All three of us.
Oh, my God.
Titans, Packers. I'm not wavering.
Titans, Packers. Mike?
Oh, crap. I got to think. I'll go Packers, Chiefs, conservatively. I feel good about the Packers. I don't feel so good about the Chiefs because, I'm really trying to think about next week's game and who that's going to be. And I think Chiefs Titans is a very big toss-up. Like, I don't feel comfortable picking Ryan Tannehill right now. Or, I'm sorry, Packers Bills is what I had.
Okay.
And for me, though, if the Bills get the Titans next week, bro, that's like the worst matchup ever for the Bills. Because
they can run the ball.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see, man.
No, I've got mine's Packers Bills. So
I could see it.
I mean, that's we're all on the Packers if you put it that. I mean, watch us all lose there, but we're all. So we're gonna remember this next week and see where we all stand.
Yeah, I'm not confident in that pick. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm headed to poker, guys. I love you all. It's been fun.
Right. Yeah, when I'm up there in like July, we gotta go to Churningstone. If you're up in New York, I want to play some poker.
First of all, can I tell you right now, it's 36 here in Pensacola, Florida. 36.
Oh no, it gets cold in Pensacola, man. That's
okay,
no joke.
The schools were closed today. Last night they closed schools
Seriously,
just because it's cold. Yeah, there's supposed to be this like freeze ice warning thing going on.
I like that philosophy because I don't even like going out if it's like under like 50 degrees out.
I can't even believe how cold it is. I might as well be back home in freaking New York right now. This is insane. And then my mom's like, I don't feel sorry for anybody in Florida. It's 4 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel bad for you Northerners, man.
Yeah, she's like, it's 4. But you're in Florida too, Mike, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm in Jacksonville, and I woke up to go to work the other day at 6 a.m. and my windshield was frozen, so that made me late.
Dude,
so
that's the worst. And I got to say something about from having lived in Florida and South Carolina. Is there a scientific reason for this? Let me ask this question, not to go too off topic. But, okay, like it'll be like 50 degrees in the morning, 45, and I would be really, really cold. And then in New York, when it's 50, you're like feeling good. Is it actually colder down there when it's the same degrees, or is that just because your body gets used to it?
I think, well, in Pensacola, I think that has to do with the wind, but in I just think it has to do with the humidity. Because you're right, like I used to live in North Carolina and it'd be snowing and I'd be out there, like this, like no sleeves on or no jacket or anything like that. But here it's like if it's 40, I'm bundled up. I got my hat on. I got my sweat on,
Because it's a wet cold down here.
Yeah.
It's a really wet cold, like.
And over there, it's windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have this wind factor going on. So it's like a wet cold, whereas up north, it's more of like a dry cold. But like these people down here don't know what's going on. It's like literally your closet has got schizophrenia. Just trying to figure out what to wear because you could there's some months here where you wake up and it's like 40 and you got a hoodie on, you got, your like leggings and your boots. And then by the time you leave work, it's 77 and you're like, oh, you're like stripping in the car.
And
like,
you know what I
mean? So.
Clint Richardson made a good point about that in the chat. He said, you totally get used to warm weather and it makes you notice because you're right. Like, I mean, in the South, like it can be like 30 degrees in the morning, but then by mid-noon, it's like 70. So,
and I'll tell you, here's a really good example real quick before I bounce out of here. I went home for, I had to go home in October for a funeral, as I was telling you earlier. And I kind of had to go home kind of fast. And I asked my mom, what's the weather like? What do I got to pack? My mom tells me to bring a light spring jacket. Okay. So I pack a light spring jacket. I get home, it's 42. I said, Mom, it's 42. She goes, I told you to bring a light spring jacket. To her, that's a light spring jacket. Maybe to me now, I've been down here 12 years. 42 to me is like, turn the fireplace on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
42 is no joke. It's no joke.
Yeah, like I'm at the point where 42 to me is like, holy crap. Like I'm not even leaving the house. So, whereas, years ago when I lived in Rochester, 42 to me was like, all right, let's
No,
let's go out.
I don't like the cold either. I'm with you there. I'm a lot more for the heat than the cold.
I moved here for a reason.
Mhm.
So
All right. Well, all right. I'll let you guys go. Have a great night. Thank you for coming on.
all
Appreciate it.
right. See y'all
All right,
next week, guys.
See you, man. Thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
See ya. Thank you, guys.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Revenant wide receiver Rev says, sorry, screwed it up. Was trying to say Tennessee has beat the Bills, Chiefs, Pats, Rams, Niners, Saints, Steelers, and Colts twice this year. That's a really good resume. That you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to try to get some more people on here. Tony, I sent you the link. I don't know if you got it, bro, but we'll get someone else on here. I'm going to just use the bathroom, then I'm going to answer some YouTube questions and any Patreon questions I missed. We're going to go 3 hours again, so I'm good on energy. So I'll be right back. Just give me like a minute. All right, let's go. Let's go. And thank you, everyone, for rolling. Yeah, man. Yo, appreciate it, RJ. Appreciate it. You guys are the goats. You got to send me an email, bro. You got to send me an email because I can't send it any other way. So send me an email. I'll get to you, man. Okay, Tony's coming on. Let's see what Tony's got to say. Yo, Tony, what's up? I got to ask one question first.
Yep.
Who you got in Ngannou against Gane?
All right, so I was actually going to get into that, but I already made both my plays. Just the spoiler. I'm going and new ×2 for 2022. I got Gane and Figgy. I already put them both in. I parlayed them earlier with Rams on Monday night. So I got one with Gane and I got one with Figgy. I'm just taking a chance.
So, yeah.
I got Gane.
So why do you think Gane's going to win?
So if you really kind of break it down, it's virtually the same game plan Derek Lewis had. He's got to land that one punch and it's out, right? My logic is Ngannou, it's a heavyweight. Technicality really don't matter. It's pretty much power over skill. But this time I'm betting skill over power because I just don't think we've ever seen a heavyweight like Cyril Gane before. This dude's a phenom.
Because he's so athletic with the kicks, bro.
Bro, if he was in America, he would have been like an all-star tight end. Type shit.
I agree.
He's a freak athlete, and just we never seen footwork, striking, all-around game. They used to spar. His coach was Ngannou's coach, so there's experience there, similarity. But I just feel like he's the better fighter overall, everywhere in the fight. If he doesn't get hit, it's Gane's fight to lose, in my opinion.
Sounds good. And what are you betting this weekend in NFL?
So, yeah, you guys hit it on the nail. I think Rams, Bucs, by far the hardest game to really cap. The Andrew Whitworth news is big. That's the left tackle. The Tristan Wirth news is big too. I'm really torn on that game because I even said going into the season, biggest threat to Tampa's run in the NFC was the Rams. Just systemically, the way they're built, they got the pressure with the front four. They got a secondary that could say what's up to their receivers. I felt like Green Bay, they kind of lacked that physicality. If they were to match up with the Tampa, not saying now, I'm talking like prior to the season beginning. That was just my mentality going in when they had the full roster. But Rams got Donald, they got Ramsey, Miller. It's just Brady's been in situations like these before where Matt Stafford hasn't. To me, I kind of disagree a little bit with Lauren. I think she said whoever it might have been the other game, actually. It might have been Bengals-Titans. But
yeah, Bengals-Titans.
Right.
I
Like
think.
that game, I think that game too. Both of these games are not going to come down to explosive plays. I think it comes down to which quarterback going to take care of the ball and which run game is going to get it going. Because I feel like both these defenses are going to come to play for Rams and Tampa for sure. Both defenses are going to show up.
Yeah, like, is there a favorite bet you got this wild card weekend?
Titans. I think that's the easiest of the 4 games. Do they cover 3.5? That's a good question, but I'm like you. I think they cover 3. So I like money line parlays with Titans for sure. I'm a guy who, like, I don't always go with the better quarterback. I go with the better team. So, like, I bet Georgia in the championship game against Bama. Better quarterback was Bama, prolific offense. Bengals remind me of that. Joe Burrow is better than Tannehill. They got better skill position players. I just think as a whole unit, Tennessee's just – a couple of years ago, they went into New England. They sent Tom Brady home. They went to Baltimore when they were the number 1 seed. They sent the MVP home. They've been here before. They're battle tested. Now you got Julio Jones. You could spread the defense out. I just think this is Titans' time right now.
Yeah, and Lisa, Titans -4, it's kind of like a drag because you're like in that no man's land, like -3.5, -4 is like no man's land. But I think there's a big possibility Titans just dominate this game. I'm not saying it's going to be how they dominated the Dolphins or anything along those lines, but I think it's going to get pretty gritty, man. Gritty. So I could see Titans winning this game by more than 10. You want to respect Burrow, and like that's the only thing that puts fear in my heart. But this Bengals defense, like we've been saying, they're due to be exposed, and eventually AJ Brown, Julio Jones healthy. I think the Titans are actually able to rip a few big plays on play action too. So I wasn't buying that.
I disagree with I think y'all underrating that chemistry between AJ Brown and Tannehill. There's a real thing there. Like I had the Niners a couple weeks ago, and like I thankfully I had in a teaser with 3.5, so I covered, but they just like zeroed in together. AJ Brown and Tannehill got a real thing going on right now. Like nobody's talking about that.
And Janine, I would lean towards the under. And for me, like the over under in the Titans game, I would lean towards the under on that, just to answer her question.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and Tony, man, what do you got? Is there anyone on the preliminary card in the UFC you're watching? Because you're really good at the prelims.
The odds actually kind of got taken off the board today. I like Ilya Tapuria over
For
Charles
real?
Jourdain. Like on my book, like a couple days ago, it was 5-1 Ilya. Now like the whole fight's just off. So maybe there was a weight cut issue or something I don't know about, but I'm probably sure the odds will just resurface tomorrow. Or maybe they'll regenerate. But I've looked at the Figueiredo line, no change. That Figueiredo looked great at the weigh-ins today. You know that Figueiredo don't make weight cuts really well, and he was second he looked great. He made 124.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
And I don't think Brandon Moreno's all that good, but
Me too.
That's just me. Like he's got heart though, so like
He's tough.
You never want to bet against a guy like who has heart. And like
Facts.
One thing Mexican fighters always have, they have a giant heart. Unfortunately, in Brazil, they quit really easy. But
Right.
Yeah.
No, I hear that. That's why I like he spent these last 4 months really dedicated with Cejudo. Like he stayed away from his family, away from Brazil. He's just all about this fight. I really like it. Oh, some fights got canceled. I didn't even know that.
Okay. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny's a fucking beast, bro.
Great. Yeah, really thanks, Johnny. Really.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even hear about it because I was just watching the Ngannou, Cyril Gane press conference today, man. I fucking liked it, and I'm excited.
Biggie stole the show, man. Motherfucker, fuck it, we cry, baby. I was dying laughing, bro.
Dude,
he's my favorite, bro.
And also Ngannou, like a reporter, a French reporter, tried to ask him a slide question, and I was so happy to see Ngannou's just like slap him verbally.
I ain't gonna lie, Ngannou kind of won the press conference a little bit as far as like he showed up, he came button, suit, and tie, and everything. He answered all the questions. He looks mentally decent. I just still think he's distracted. These Tyson Fury talk and all this. Gane's like hitting the gym while he's talking about making movies, and I just think Ngannou's going to Hollywood. He's in Jackass. Ngannou's in Jackass. Y'all see it. Y'all gonna see it soon. Really?
Yeah. And just to reiterate what you said about Gane, like I don't know if we ever seen a heavyweight like him in the UFC though. Like I don't think we can underestimate that. Even though Ngannou looks like he's molded out of fucking clay.
He's superhuman. He is. He is. He's a freak. They're both freaks, really.
Dude, and just one last question, man, about the heavyweight title fight. Are you a little bit worried this might turn into like when Derek Lewis fought Ngannou, like they're both scared of each other? Or do you think they're just going into fucking scrap?
So you already know. I think that's a real, like, if you're betting Gane, you kind of got to use that fight as like he lost to Derek Lewis beat Francis Ngannou by a horrible decision. It wasn't watchable. It was like one of the worst heavyweight fights ever, just based off name value.
Fight in history.
It was horrible. All right, Ngannou. What if I told you the first 3 minutes consecutive, Ngannou did not throw one strike attempt? That tells you he feared Derek Lewis's power, where Cyril Gane was just in and out, fucking the footwork, and he just finished Derek Lewis in his hometown of Houston. So, like, to me, that's just a dude who he just comes with a game plan, he just executes it straight up.
Yo, any other thoughts this weekend?
I'm with you on Titans. I think moneyline parlay is a really good avenue with Titans. Straight up, it's a little bit of a gamble.
Buffalo KC. Sorry to cut you off. What do you think about Buffalo KC?
That's Ali Frazier. I think you said. Did you quote that? Did you use that term this week? Yeah, no, it's a great.
I just said it was like two gladiators going at it, two Goliaths.
It feels. You're right. It feels like a championship game. All everything on the line, but I'm going with KC. And the reason
I don't blame you, dude. It's a coin flip.
It is. But my main reason is I just feel like they didn't see it in the first round against the Patriots because their offense isn't really – it's a lot of smoke and mirrors when you break it down. Because their receivers, ultimately, they ain't going to get separation against Levi Wallace and Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. They was never going to get that real separation. This game, the Tre'Davious White injury will be exposed, I feel. Andy Reid's going to attack that. I really do think he's going to attack that some way, somehow.
It's an interesting take. San Fran, Green Bay.
My gut, I guess you can call me an Aaron Rodgers hater. You really can. I bet him against the Buccaneers, like put at least 300 last year in the NFC Champ game. There was no excuses. He was the number 1 seed, home field advantage. I guess the only thing is the weather. It wasn't a
bad bet, bro. It was not a bad bet.
The fundamentals said Green Bay, like stats, the regular season, everything. And just they didn't show up. Maybe the weather's more, it didn't feel like the tundra last year. You have to admit that, right? In that Tampa Bay game, it didn't look like the tundra.
Because there was just like 10K fans there. Like, it's going to be full this time.
That's true, too.
Right? I think there's only 10K. I know it wasn't full.
No, yeah, you'll definitely see more of a capacity, max capacity this time around. But I'm just saying the weather in general, it wasn't like a blizzard. And I was expecting that for Green Bay as an advantage in that game, but it didn't show up. This year, they don't have Robert Tonyan. They missed Bakhtiari throughout the season, but they're getting him back. They're getting key guys back, Jair and Za'Darius.
Jair coming
healthy.
back. That's the best
That's
for
big.
me. Outside of Ramsey, man, I don't know if there's better dog in the league.
No, really,
bro.
No, and I like the rookie they drafted from Georgia, Stokes. He's fast. No, they're a really good team. They could win a lot of ways. I just feel like there's a physicality factor that still ain't there. AJ Dillon masks it, but I feel like you can still kind of push Green Bay a little bit. You can get in their face and get physical with them. But as far as the Niners, I don't know the whole situation with Bosa, Warner too. Their health is key. If Jimmy G can't turn the ball over and they could get some form of a run game, they could be in that game because their style translates to that weather, their style of football.
Fundamentals, yeah. Yeah,
right.
Dude, it does. And I think Rodgers is going to go off, though. And we've been complaining about the San Fran secondary all year. But it's going to be a good game, man. Like, if San Fran scores first, then I'm going to be fucking getting anxiety.
Right.
If I have a bet on Green Bay. Yeah.
No, definitely. I agree with you on that for sure. But, if you stack the box and you take the run away from the Niners, the game gets real one-dimensional real fast. So you have that on your side if you're Green Bay. I mean, and they could definitely take advantage of, like, them secondary.
Yeah,
with Adams.
And then, dude, and I'm so excited for Rams Tampa. It's gonna be good, man. That's gonna be awesome. These games are sick this week, by the way.
Last year was
Titans is
that's a great game. No, really, all these games are great. This is the best teams left. These really are straight up.
Yeah. All right, Tony. Any other words?
So that was KC. Yeah, I said I like KC. Tampa Rams, that's kind of a game time decision bet for me. I have to really look at the injury report. That's going to be like final 30 minutes. I'm going to make an instant call on that. I like KC still. Tennessee I like. And the last game was Green Bay. I mean, the signs say Green Bay, but I don't know. I I have a little thing against Aaron Rodgers because I'm still salty about the NFC Championship last year. I mean, that was a layup. Everything was made for you, but it is what it is. I can still see Green Bay winning and covering, but I don't know. I lean maybe Niners teaser just to be on the safer side. You know?
Sounds good.
But appreciate you for having me on. I hope everybody does good this week in the divisional. We'll link up for the championship game next week. Make sure to subscribe, like Lawson NFL Bets on YouTube and Instagram. It's the best best gambling show on the internet. And last but not least, man, bold prediction. My favorite underdog of the week in sports is Figueiredo. So that's my favorite.
I like that. And bro, I'm thinking about maybe us doing a UFC one. Because, dude, there's not a lot of UFC media if you think about it. And
no, really.
Yeah.
And you saw the press conference yesterday. Them journalists are terrible at their job. They suck.
Bro.
Them dudes suck. We could ask better questions. Straight up.
I know. Fuck, bro.
Really? Dead ass. It's ridiculous.
All right, Tony. Have a good one, man.
You too, man. Peace.
Thank you. C. James Lawson, where's your Brazil girl, bro? She's in the living room. Not going to bring her on here. Yeah, dude, I think UFC is fun. It's really hard to bet, but it's fun, and I like the personalities. Stephen Ledoux, I'm pretty sure I said it right. Lawson, who do you have in the Super Bowl if Titans versus Packers in Super Bowl? Like, if Titans don't get there, I still have Titans versus Packers. If you're telling me hypothetically Titans lose this week and Packers lose this week, I'd probably go Rams versus Bills. If you're asking me, like, hypothetically, if Titans Packers lose, if that's the right question. Yo, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it, bro. You guys bring good vibes too, and like I said, I got one of the best. I think I got the smartest people on YouTube, man, who are my subscribers. Scotty Eddie, what's the biggest bet you've lost? I bet Tampa Bay money line last year and lost on it. That would be the biggest one. Sounds good. I'm going to get one more guy on, and then I'm going to go off into the sunset. Bets will be posted on Patreon tonight. I have to just look at the injury reports and place the bets. And I did send the invite. Ryan. So let me know when you get it. Come on. Cause yeah, I'm running on fumes right now. Too late players. If Green Bay don't keep it fresh, their future's going to mess as it already is. Aaron Rodgers. That was funny. Bro. I didn't know I was supposed to read it like a rap. Whenever I rap off beat. Clint Richardson says Bosa's cleared for Sunday. Makes sense. Mr. says, Lawson, do they sell Red Bull bottles in Brazil? Yes, they do. It's more expensive. Okay, I think Ryan's here. Let's see his shit load up. Yo, Ryan, how's it going, bro?
Oh, what's up, man? How's it going? Nice to see you.
Dude, nice to see you too, man. Everything's going good. Ready for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. I'm really happy I saw you because we got such a big time difference, and right now, it's around 8 a.m. in the morning in China and it's freezing. You guys talk about temperatures. It's all frozen up, man.
Dude, I can't live that way, man. I can't live that way.
It's like minus 10 over here. So that would be like what? Maybe like 18 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. So it's really cold. It's super cold over here. And I want to jump straight into it, man. I heard you guys talk about the UFC for a second, you and Tony, and I like the Figueiredo bet a lot. I also jumped on Figueiredo, and I just want to say one thing though with Ngannou, okay? That guy wants to fight Tyson Fury, right? If he loses to Gane, that fight is almost out of the window pretty much because Tyson Fury is not gonna entertain that fight when he loses to Gane. And then Gane, and he's on the end of his contract too. So it's a very important fight for Ngannou. This is literally the difference between millions and and not. So I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting fight, but I don't know, man. It's not going to be so easy. I feel like Ngannou is definitely going to put everything into it.
For me, it's a coin flip. Like that's what I keep thinking, and that's UFC's kind of a coin flip. Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
with these dudes.
It's very difficult fight to call this one, although Ngannou is super athletic. But the only reason why I'm on Ngannou might win it, is because I don't think Ngannou got the power like Lewis or one of those guys. Ngannou is a technical guy, right? So, but anyway, UFC is going to be really cool, man. And I'm also looking forward to that. I just hope those fights are after the NFL. I hope there's no conflict of time.
There's going to be a little bit of a conflict of time, unfortunately, because let me just go check right now. Because, okay, so since he plays Tennessee 4:30 Eastern time, and then Green Bay plays San Fran 8:15 Eastern time, so there's going to be some overlap. I think the Ngannou fight, it should be after. It'll 100% be after. Not sure about
Right. I really hope, because these fights are going to be awesome, and the NFL I'm not going to miss too. So, talking of the NFL, you know what? For me, the biggest problem is, like you also always say, I think maybe we have too much time to overthink it, John. We shouldn't really overthink it too much, right? I think this is the biggest trouble, because I was convinced, Green Bay is going to win it at home. If they don't win it, with all the coaches and players they have, it might be a failed season if they lose a game like this, right? Am I wrong if I say that?
Oh, it would be terrible, man. And it might be Aaron Rodgers last year there. Period.
You see, so they have to win this, and I'm thinking, without making putting too much science into it, it's gotta be just Green Bay. I'm just thinking Green Bay win, and that's it. I also don't really trust Garoppolo. So,
dude, I'm not trying to overthink that one too.
Yeah. That's overthinking it makes it immediately complicated for me, man. And then I change my mind and I lose. So no. I just think Green Bay, not overthinking it. I might even go just for the win, and that's it.
Because it's not that bad to go Green Bay money line.
So. No. That's good. I don't try to make all the money in the world on one game. If I could get a good win on a game, that's good enough, because we have some more games to come. So for me, I'm not always dedicated to go on the -3, -4, -6, -7. Sometimes the money line is good enough. I might just make my bet bigger, but then at least I don't have to worry of them taking a knee at the end and you lose by 1, and it's too much, mate. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I've seen. I just want to ask you one thing quickly. These games that are really difficult to predict sometimes, like people talk about the Bucs and the Rams might be a difficult game, or the Chiefs. And what I've been doing for a long time is in-play betting, the live betting, right? On games like these. And I got like a 90% record on the NFL games that I've been this is the first season that I'm really deep into it, but I have like a 90% when I go live into the game and bet a couple $100 on the game in play. I think that's much easier on a coin flip, John. Just some, something to think about.
I think it's a lot easier. Unfortunately, these fucking dirty Bucs. You try to put in the bet, then they'll say, line changes. It goes from like -120 to -124. So they
No.
that. So
No. We are on totally different betting sites. Also, I think I bet with I used to crypto to bet. Okay, so I bet with a crypto online on the betting sites, and they are these sites are really big, and they accept huge bets and everything, but the lines also change So we have an option on this on these websites where you can accept any odds change or something like this, which makes
we have that too. They still fuck us.
Oh, wow. Okay,
it's
yeah,
United States of America, man.
Yeah.
I bet with an offshore one, but they target towards USA. So
is it difficult for you? I just have a quick question. If you cash out, like how long does it take for you to get your money when you?
I get paid in Bitcoin, so it's not bad.
Okay, so it's immediately, basically. Okay, yeah, me too. I cannot use any other way than betting in crypto because it's immediately. That's the cool thing. But the live betting is really, really something to look into, man. I believe that, like the Arizona Rams game, I was thinking, the Rams is going to beat them and everything. And then I made a bet, and then I watched the game, and halftime, they offered me, the website offered me $2. I mean, I'm not sure in the American odds. What is that? Is that like? I mean, if I put $100, I would get 200 back, right? So that is.
We don't use these.
Yeah. So if I bet $1,000, I would get 2,000 back, right? They offered me 2-1 on the Rams to win the second half.
Which is crazy.
How crazy! I mean, the Cardinals are never going to win the second half against the Rams, even though you reckon in the garbage time and the garbage points and all of that stuff. So I'm just saying, these live betting, sometimes I think the bookies fuck up a little bit. But
they do because it's tough. But also I worry about some of my people's personalities. And it takes a specific personality and a very patient person.
Yeah. You gotta focus, man. Not don't pull the trigger immediately. That's the most important thing.
Or do something emotional because you lost earlier in the day. It's easier said than done, but don't be overly emotional with it. Like, yes, there's going to be emotion in anything you do, and there should be if you're living a decent life. But goddamn, like sometimes you got to put the emotions away or at least taper them down.
Man, it's really difficult, and that I've made my biggest mistakes. If you lose a game. And now you jump on the next game and you double up heavy and hard and you pound the game, and that's where you lose. But if you stay patient, I think it's awesome. I just want to say quickly, something I found is, with a lot of these games that the people can also look into is, who's losing focus and concentration and, during a game. This is huge in football, in soccer too. I use this a lot. Like the San Francisco football team, I found to lose a little bit of focus during games. I picked it up. Okay, we can go third quarter. They should have put the Cowboys away, mate. The Cowboys should have had no reason to even come back into the game, make it controversial, nothing. They should have pounded him. The game should have been over, and they lost focus again.
Look at 49ers against Seahawks, 49ers against Titans. Those two games in the second half of the season, so... No. I really think if it comes to a situation where it be closer, it's going to happen again, going to lose focus again, lose concentration, maybe even lose confidence when it's too tight, and then Green Bay will take over too. So that's why I'm really confident in a money line. Just when I feel like the 49ers can mess it up. Okay, just quickly on the Titans and the Bengals. Also, I really don't want to overthink it. I think only Burrow can win the game for the Bengals. Like I said last time, I'm high on the kid. I think he's really good. I rate him much higher than most of the other quarterbacks. That's just me, because he played without fear right now. He's got nothing to be scared of, mate. And since he pretty much made it already, nobody's going to look at them. Wow, this is a failed season if they lose. So I feel like they got the pressure a little bit off of them. And but the Titans win. I 100% think the Titans going to win, and they're at home. They got these big runners. So you also on the Titans. The Titans are a better overall team. And I think the Titans kill them in the trenches. So that's where I think the game's negated.
Without making a science out of it, I think Titans win. Money line pick for me again. And the Tampa game, though, the Tampa Rams game is a game that I would like to go into the live betting again, because I don't feel like Tom Brady's got something to lose. the guys win 6 or Super Bowls or 6 or 7, and he's got nothing to prove anymore. Nobody's going to say, oh, he lost the game, it's going to affect his legacy. There's no pressure really on Tampa. They made the playoffs again. They got some injuries. I feel like there's more pressure on the Rams, really. Do you agree, John, or what is your take?
I think there's more pressure on the Rams. I would agree, but also though with Brady though, he doesn't really feel pressure. But I think he wants. It's tough, man. It's tough to go there. I think McVay will feel pressure, but I think that'll motivate him. Because McVay, he's kind of fallen flat in the playoffs, even though he's a damn good coach.
Right. It's going to be a test for them. So we will see what's going to happen there. But I'm definitely going to jump on the live playing over there. I'm going to want to get a feel for the bet at first, maybe the first quarter, maybe jump something on the live betting. It's a good option for this game too, man. I think it's not bad. And then the last one, I'm just also on the Bills, man. I think they surprised me against New England, and I feel like I do not think. So many times we bet the names like Mahomes. You cannot bet against Mahomes. I think that's totally wrong. Mahomes did not impress me at all the last couple of games I've seen. In fact, the Chiefs was a little bit lucky the last few games. The Bengals beat them at home. And I just think if the Bills don't now, I also don't think the Bills is going to have this super successful season if they cannot get to a Super Bowl with all these guys like Allen and them peaking at the right time. So,
I think, and Mahomes, people think he's playing like at the level he was 3 years ago. He really isn't. He's still damn good. And then, like, people are saying, like, oh, bet the hot hand, and they're not betting the Bills. Like, I don't know if there's a hotter hand in the playoffs than the Bills. No. Like I said, I think that comes down to the last possession either way.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be close. And Allen is got that extra running game, which is better than Mahomes is too. That little running game. Nobody touching Allen right now when he's running the ball. When he's going for it, I think the Bills money pick is also a great one. A money line pick, like I said, which I'm gonna jump on. But those are the games, man. And then I'm just looking forward to some soccer as well starting soon.
Oh, dude, Brazilian state championships start this weekend, so I'm gonna start having bets on Patreon. Not saying I'm gonna bet anything this week, but I'll be getting it. I have to watch a lot of soccer this weekend though, since it's finally starting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk much more about that when it gets full into action and stuff. There's a lot of research that I also always put into it, so we can definitely connect on it. And
dude, let's go, because I'm thinking about starting a UFC channel just to keep me busy during the off season. And then I'm thinking about starting just a YouTube channel dedicated to the Brazilian national team, but then you can work and shit with that, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm all over that. I've been looking to talk about this more, and get some more bets out there and stats out there and research and connect a little bit and talk about it, because that's sometimes the only missing key. About making real money and not making it, especially with Brazil. You got, maybe I know something you don't know, something I don't, and we connect and we talk about it. So that's a great idea.
Because there's so many games going on. And for me, I don't watch Europe. So I just watch this shit here. But yeah, dude, it's always good to talk to other people, man. So.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. What do you usually bet on the Brazilian? What lines do you bet? Do you go straight win, or what's your favorite line to bet on the?
Oh, I either bet straight winners, but I love the Asian handicap. I think it's because of my American trained NFL spread. So I love Asian handicap. I feel so comfortable with the Asian handicap. Sometimes I feel a little bit too comfortable with it, but I love the Asian handicap. So. What do you bet?
Absolutely.
You said you bet over unders a lot, right? I can't do that.
I don't always do it, but in a league like the Serie B, you gotta get on the unders in the Serie B. It's a gold mine. They're one of the most underish leagues in the world. Like I said, even halftime, 70% of the games under 1.5. They really tight. So that's why. yeah, so tight, man. It's so boring, but there's money there. That's I'm most of the time I'm not even watching the game. If I know it's going to be an underish game, I might bet it, and I just watch on my phone, and I just don't.
I actually watched the shit. I actually watched the shit, which is just. Sometimes the games are really good though, but yeah, dude, because they play so much, the players just get tired, and like we talked about last week, the travel kills.
Yeah. No, you're right, mate, and I'm really happy you like the soccer over there too, because I think it's huge, and it's more than a $4 billion market, only the soccer worldwide, So.
Oh yeah, dude, and I'm going to a game on the 30th, so I'll post some shit on Instagram.
No. Put some pictures on Instagram, maybe if you go to the games too, because for me, I would love to go to a game in Brazil one day. I mean, I've been to games in England and stuff, but in Brazil, I've never. So, put some pictures on, mate. I mean, that would be awesome to see.
My city is Fortaleza, and we got. They're saying we got one of the most vibrant crowds in South America now. It's like a really chill atmosphere. So I'll post one thing up on Instagram when I went to a game before the season ended. So
that'll be awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my side, man. I'm happy to talk to you always, and definitely gonna do it again. Good luck for the games. I mean, we can definitely make a bit of money this weekend. I feel like I'm not gonna think too much about the games, because if I do that, I'll change my stuff. I'm gonna go just without making it a science, like you say.
Yeah, dude, and bro, send me a message on Instagram. I haven't seen your Instagram yet.
100%, I will do that. Thanks a lot for your time, man. I appreciate it. And let's get some money in, okay?
All right, bro. Appreciate it, man.
See you later, man. Thanks.
Oh, my bad. I cut you off, Ryan. My bad. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to take a shower now. Let's get that money. Thank you, guys. We made it past the 3-hour mark again. Let's get this money. Have a great night, guys. Enjoy the playoffs. Patreon bets will be up tonight, probably around like 11, 10:30 Eastern time. Let's get it.